Hey guys, let me knock the mic so close to me. Hi guys, if you can see, we have a temporary new setup. We're still working with things here and there, and it's not fully done, but we're primarily doing this to just test to see if our computer can handle the 4 cameras at the same time running all the time, forever and ever and ever. Yeah. And so if you guys notice any little hiccup, please let us know. Type it in the chat so we can see that, and worst case scenario, we'll just go back to the old setup. But hopefully we won't, because this is cool, and our players are closer to me and can touch their minis, and that's the important part of the day.
Touching ourselves is important.
Yeah. Valentine's Day is over. You can still touch yourself, guys. I mean, nothing.
Well, Valentine's Day is over, so
all right then. Okay. Hi guys, welcome to the Divine and Conquer Sacred World. This is a 5e game based on the Pathfinder Inner Seas, using the Greyhawk Pantheon, a little bit of Taldor, a little bit of Innistrad, Ravnica to tie all that in. Oh, Taldor, if I didn't say it, there we go.
You said it now.
I said it now, yeah. I don't think we have many announcements. There might be a thing happening tomorrow. I don't know if that's a thing or not. No? Okay,
Wait,
cool. Nothing. No. Is there a thing happening?
Crickets from San Antonio.
Is there a thing happening tomorrow?
I'm literally only trying to do all PR from this side.
I understand. I understand. Is there a thing happening tomorrow or no? Do you know?
So far, yeah. Tomorrow we are gonna do our Demi-Planes and Doodles with me and Lynn, and the topic for tomorrow is Druids.
Druids.
Yeah. Druids.
So,
I think we have a few Druids in our campaigns.
only 1 or 2.
Only 1 or 2. I mean.
Only 1 or 2 or 3. We have a Druid in each.
We have 1 Druid each
yeah,
day.
we're gonna talk about fun design aspects of building a Druid, and we'll probably build a Druid live from chat suggestions.
Oh, cool.
As we go through the night, as we do.
You might meet a Druid in today's game.
Lynn and I are doing a thing. We started it on Saturday. Felt like it should have been mentioned at some point, but we forgot.
Thank you.
Professional. So Lynn and I are holding a bit of a giveaway on the stream. So we had people answer a question in chat on Saturday night, and they're entered in for a drawing to win free art from me and Lynn. So
that's really cool.
Continuing that, so if anybody in chat wants to, contribute to that, I'll make an announcement, maybe break time, and type a question, answer the question, and huzzah, you're entered to win free art.
Huzzah.
What? Huzzah. Yeah. Cool. That's really cool. Other than we're going to South by Southwest in a little bit under a month now. So much excite.
Much excite.
I think that's all the announcements we have. Oh, Sunday we'll be having our Magic the Gathering stream. Announcements for the stream.
Oh.
We still need to thank our friends. Like our friends here at Talon Claw, which make these amazing DM screens and these really cool.
Use your words.
Oh yeah, these dice.
He's absolutely speechless.
Yes, these dice vaults, and then what is that, Jeremiah? Do you want to open that for me so I don't knock all these minis off the thing?
Turn it way around sometime.
Ooh, look at that! There's the dual hex dice vault, and then they also have single ones as well that are really really cool. Yeah, if you use the code Divide and Conquer, if you scroll down to their Etsy, or if you're looking at this in the future on either YouTube, Spotify, or on Anchor, just scroll down to the bio and you'll see the information. Just click there, go to the link, and yeah, get 10% off, which is amazing. They have really, really cool stuff. And then also the Alistair project, which Vic is currently writing for, and our friend Lynn is drawing the art.
We have a new tier, guys.
Yes. Really?
A new tier.
We have a new tier.
Want to explain that?
We recently posted it up yesterday, so if you're in the Alistair Patreon, you would have gotten an email for it with the lovely little art that I drew of West holding an eggplant.
Yes. That was wonderful.
It's our Zesty. Okay. It is our Zesty tier, which is our 18 and up tier. So if you're into that spicy stuff, join that tier for $13 a month, and you'll get all of the inclusions that come with subscribing to the Patreon. You get 20% off on commissions, you get art, concept stuff, you can chat with us on the Discord, which you can chat with us on the Discord anyway for as little as $1 a month on our Patreon. But the $13 tier lets you get everything involved, plus some nice spicy art from me and Len.
Some nice spicy.
Which, I mean, in case
NSFW.
anybody doesn't know West as a character, he's naked a lot.
No, he's not. He has a sock.
I mean,
Excuse me, he always has a sock. Well, there's no socks this time.
wow.
Socks
So
are off.
The
So
$13
scandalous.
zesty tier is socks
zesty
off.
tier.
so much scandal.
Yeah.
But alrighty. Well, if those are all the announcements we have, let's roll.
I can tap this big.
You can dab all the dabbing. Yeah, let's roll that intro, please. Wow, that was really good, Jeremiah. That was are we live?
No.
Are we on the air?
On the air.
Are we on the air, guys?
I need like a light that says on air.
Oh, you do when you have one up there. Yeah. So, last time the Elysian Vagabonds were on roll 20 because we weren't all here. Oh, here we go. I was looking for myself. As our bard Laz was performing in Tavern and getting ready for a big show of the night, Orcdeath was perusing the bar, and someone else. We had our team go up to the Petrified Queen of Korvosa, who, with information, has been petrified for a pretty long time. With investigation throughout the city, her what she's done in the past, getting a guesstimation about 3 years prior to you guys defeating the hags. You're suspecting that's when the night hag disguised herself as the queen and took over. You guys essentially conducted a citywide search for any of the symbols for Asmodeus or for Lamash 2 to see what you guys could find. As the guards were doing that, you guys went to the Temple of Palor, discovered a Soon original. Ariell will lead a mass, and the dawning that this party is not going to be forever. And with that, as we're getting ready for Ariell's mass tonight.
Sad boy hours.
No, I'm on my own mass.
It's about 3 hours away. So.
I'm on my own mass in the middle of the Chaddington estate.
Okay.
With a whole bunch of Bloomstone original.
Sure. Of course. Why?
He's just
Where else would you be?
there with on top of Brom was like, yes.
Where else would you be? Yeah.
Look at these stones. It's beautiful.
I'm gonna say West is hanging out with Rognarv because West is a little angry right now at two particular people in his life. So he's gonna be hanging out with Rognarv.
Yeah, and
Okay.
every time we go to a next statue, I'm just on West's ear about it. Look at this, the angles.
Yeah, those are some angles.
Is there anything specific that you guys want to do before the 3 hours are up before your
Oh, no,
mass?
I'm just even if West disappears and just walks somewhere else, I'm still gonna be there talking about the statues.
Of course.
I'm just ensuring that Chaddington and Samantha get an invite and that people in the town know that I'm going to be giving mass.
If I recall, the young acolytes in the temple were going to go around and spread the news that Ariell the Benevolent is going to give that ceremony. at 7 p.m. sharp. Which Ariell, are you just going to prepare for mass essentially?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. I'm just gonna meditate, pray a bit. Just
Okay.
7 p.m. mass. It's like right after dinner. I'm gonna be falling asleep. Like,
Wow. How did I see this coming?
God.
Oria and Wes, I know you're not technically together unless you guys want to be. What will you guys be doing for the next 3 hours or so?
Oria would try talking with Wes, but once she sees how pissed he is, it's like, no.
Okay.
It's like, you go to approach Wes and talking to him, and he's like, no. No. He's just like not looking at you. It's just taking it how one would a toddler, and it's like, just give them their space and...
Okay. Rog, you're just going to be examining the statue for the next...
Wow.
You're entranced.
Like this.
Okay.
I hear if I hear Oria and Wes like kind of arguing a little bit in the background, my ears is really just blocked
Okay.
off. I'm on a trance of some student regionals.
Okay.
All right.
That's fair. That's fair because Oria's gonna try to talk to Wes. Wes is gonna outright just no, and he's gonna go to Rognarv, and he's gonna try to start like venting to Rognarv. So no, I guess just me knowing that Rognarv is not listening, Wes is just like venting about everything to Rognarv.
Like you can,
it's just like
you can talk to Brahm.
I'm talking to Brahm and Rognarv.
Brahm is like.
But I mean, you know, right? I mean, that's such an asshole thing to do. Like,
yes, but look at these toes. Look at the detail of that nail.
yeah, you're really focused on the toes, and I have questions about it, but you know.
I'm sure. All I can really see is the toes.
As
Do you wanna boost on my shoulders so you can look at the
as soon as you said boost, I'm already climbing up you. So I can reach the head parts.
Wes, roll me a strength because Rognarv is not a typical weighted male. He's pretty.
Rognarv's wearing armor too.
He's a
FYI 132.
132.
132 for a dwarf?
A dwarf or an?
Dwarf.
All right,
Because
never mind. You can carry him.
Because he's more into
Okay, all right.
I mean, he's also.
alchemy and
I mean,
everything.
Yeah, you're.
wearing armor, so.
He is wearing
I
armor.
am wearing armor.
So a 230-pound dwarf, though, you can carry.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, with your 18-19 strength, you can carry it.
Okay.
Like the subtleness of him just getting on top of you, like, oh, okay. You start standing up.
It's like a squirrel, just let it happen.
As Orcdeath, you kind of wake up in the middle of death through in the middle of the day as a shirt hits you on the face, and you see a dwarven woman as she's putting on her shirt. This is an everyday thing, and I have work. So there is an ale there. I cooked you some bacon. Later. And there is some very, very nicely cooked bacon and a mug of ale. Then when you look at it, half of it's already gone. As she's quickly running out, as she kind of opens the door, looks around, and then runs. Half your clothes are on the floor. You notice that one of her socks is also laid there. And like an hour or so of you settling in, do what you need to do, you hear on the door. Mr. Orcdeath, is this where you're staying?
At the moment.
Ariell, the Benevolent, is having a sermon, and he would like your request. It's at 7. Okay, bye. And you see the kid run off. What would you like to do? It's about 3 hours or so from now. Drink?
Bar and drink.
All right. As you're coming down, you quickly, with your passive, you can see this as you see that Laz is at a table, and like she was directly looking at you. And as soon as you started coming down and you noticed her, she turned around and she started whispering things to a table full of It's mostly humans, and you notice that some of them are sailors. You see some working men. You see a drunken halfling already. Like he's just drinking too much past his weight limit, and she's just covering her face, kind of looking at you. And as soon as you take the last step down the stairs, she's like, "Yeah!" And everyone in the bar starts clapping their hands, and you see the barmaid just completely turn red and say, "Fuck you!" and just runs back into the back. And she just starts clapping at you.
Say the water.
As you see Lass approach you, I'm gonna be doing a show in a bit. Just letting you know. All right, I'm gonna go prepare. And then you see that she starts warming up her voice and gets her lute and starts making sure that the strings are perfectly attached and everything's tuned correctly. Same thing with her harp. And you see that her and like a couple of half elves come into the bar bringing their own assorted instrument, and they're discussing what they're going to perform that night. Other than drinking, is there anything else that you want to do?
Kind of look around, see if there's any body from the night before.
Oh,
I became acquainted with.
Roll me perception.
19.
As you had a pretty good look at everybody and you start examining the room, you notice a couple of drips of blood on the floor that have not been cleaned from the brawl the night before. You still see the chair that's been kind of fixed, that he's with some rope, but you don't see anyone there.
Then I'm going to my breakfast meal and bacon.
All right. As we're having our meal, venting to a giant scorpion, discussing the beauty of an original Stoon, and
Wes's shoulder. Like I'm actually like I'm not like the typical person that's on top of your shoulder where the legs is right here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually like feet on his shoulder because
and you're just balancing.
Basically like
okay.
Going like this on the rock.
All right.
The detail on the hair.
Roll me dexterity, just for the fun.
Like the whole time I'm like venting to Braum and him at the same time while he's doing this.
20?
No, 19.
Okay.
I am
no. You are focused. You are solid. You, like Wes is helping you, bro. Like this is you are examining this. Wes, you discovered a thing, an enlightenment right now. With the weight properly placed on your shoulder and how it's balancing, if you just raise your calves, it's a good workout. Some might say a calf extension. So.
I'll be multitasking that. You know, just venting, working out, holding Rognarv, and just, you know, I mean, we've been on the road for like 2 years now. I mean, I don't want to say that constitutes as family, but like people kind of form bonds and maybe get a little too attached for their own good. You know, when you're in a life and death situation with other people.
Like with that. When you said that, actually, I will go down to on top of Braum so I can still be at least eye level on you because I am 4'4". Braum is taller than me. Anyway, like I will grab you on the head, like grab you on the head. I was like, don't worry, me and Braum is not going anywhere. And then I'll stop going on top of you. I'll be on top of Braum instead, because I felt bad.
As you guys are doing that, Ariell, Oria, can I have you both roll your perception?
We got a thing in chat saying that the D&D Beyond overlay is still Hogwarts.
Thank you. I won't be able to fix that until break.
Okay.
But thank you guys.
Okay. 19 for perception.
Okay.
23.
Okay.
Woo, guys.
As Ariell, Oria, Orcdeath, you as well. You're noticing just because it's happening right in front of you, as it seems though a slew of battled men start coming in. You see some have injuries, not like fresh injuries, but they've been in fights before. You see like one of the men doesn't have an arm, but it's already well healed. You see a couple of them, like they all have almost identical uniforms and it's dirty. You see some of them discussing rewards, having too much gold on them, as though they just came back. And you've seen this before. This is the man coming back from war. As they start just buying ale. You even hear one man who is coming out with a very shattered leg, and you see that it has like a very crude mechanical byproduct, so he can start walking with it, like around for everyone on me, and then he kind of goes on and he's feeling like as long as it's the cheap stuff. And you start seeing a whole bunch of veterans coming back. As Ariell, you will be with your 23. You'll be closer to the front of the city as the west entrance of New Varasia. The entrance where you guys came in. You're going to see something a little bit different. As Oria, you're also seeing and you're noticing that these look really similar to some of the gear you saw when you and Wes met around these parts of the regions in all of Varasia. That is, when the campaign started, it was an 8-year war that was just ending as soon as our party found the book that was intended to be sent to the Queen here. Well, now the men of war are coming back home after 2 years after the war has ended. So they've been fighting for about 10 years. And now they're seeing their families again. As you're noticing that West is still venting, or Rognarv is still perusing, and
I kind of actually want to do something.
in 1 second after.
That's fine.
But Ariell, you notice one thing: everyone, man or woman, is again looks like they're a soldier coming back, except for one individual, a very slim, young, red-skinned tiefling. This kid looks young, and you see that he's on a wagon with a whole bunch of other men, as he's kind of to himself and everyone else is talking, and you see that he steps out of the cart and he immediately goes to technically a religious prayer site that has not been taken down. He goes to the Farlagon temple, which with just refresh your memory, Farlagon is the god of the roads, and technically his temple is just a small little slot outside of most cities, or a very minute little temple, as there's not really ceremonies around Farlagon. It's just the god of road and travel, so you say good luck as the blessing goes for you to leave or come back into town. As you see that tiefling goes and takes a knee to the emblem, and you see that he puts a platinum coin into the slot for the temple's collection. And he's there for a good minute or two before he stands up and starts walking and then disappears within the crowd of all the soldiers that are coming in. Rog?
What's the name of Charity's wife?
Samantha?
Samantha.
Mm-hmm.
With me staying at Charrington's in a while, maybe a day or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like I'll probably kind of figure out how to do it, but I was like, I think this is what some of them do.
Yes.
And then look around if somebody comes.
Someone will come down from the Chaddington and say, yes, Master
Oh, that
Rog.
worked.
How can I be assistant to you?
Where is? I just want to ask if the head of household is here.
No, I think that he is at a meeting.
I'm talking about Samantha.
Well, as you see that the man kind of like turns around. Well, Wherever Chaddington goes for matter of
Or
the
as I
estate,
say, I'll
Samantha
say
also
Lady
goes.
Samantha or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. As she will also be there
Oh.
to assist in anything that his memory forgets.
Oh. Well, I just kind of want to ask, do you have some kind of chain? If not, I will go to the...
We can acquire you chain. I do not think we have anything in the estate, but if you need some, I can ask one of our men to go to a smithery and get you some if that's what you need.
Like, I'm actually like talking like a necklace chain. Kind of.
Oh, I can see what we have. Is there anything specific that you would like?
As long as it's metal, I can pay for it.
Very well.
While I'm perusing with my little pouch already.
As you'll get a chain, a silver chain.
How long will that take?
Maybe 15 minutes or so,
Okay,
since they have to
yeah.
travel through the mansion and get it for you.
How long is it till the max?
I'll say that we have about a 3-hour buffer, so we can maneuver the time as we need before we set for that.
Okay.
Just for RP purposes.
Because when he comes back, if he has the chain or whatnot, I will also ask, is there a way I can set up shop in the backyard or maybe in the front?
I would,
I'm not gonna dirty it if that's what you're worried about. I just need my small anvil for something. 10 minutes tops.
you see that he doesn't want to say yes,
That's why
but
I was
eventually,
asking for the head of household. But if they're not here, it's okay.
I would ask Chaddington or Samantha when they return.
I'll just go to my cart. I'm gonna go to
You
my
just-
cart
and just do it on your
like,
cart?
I'm not gonna take it out.
Yeah.
Like I'll have like a little anvil.
Sure.
And then I'll kind of drag West around if he wants to come.
Yeah, I'll totally mess around with you, sure.
And then I was like, West, have you ever ridden on top of Ram?
No.
Do you wanna
Can
try? It's fun.
What?
How heavy is West?
I'm a really big boy. I'm like 6'5" and nothing but muscle. So
Yes,
I'm
that is
pushing. I'm pushing way past the
280?
200-pound mark.
285?
Yeah, about.
6.5 if you're just pure muscle. I want
I'm
to say
pure
270,
muscle.
280.
250, 275.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would say around like 250, 275,
Bro,
depending.
carry him.
Brum can carry him. Brum is a hefty.
I haven't eaten today, so I think it should be fine.
Okay, then it's not 275, it's 270.
Sure. Brum can carry a lot, especially since she's made out of steel. So yes, she can carry him.
Okay, then I guess you're gonna ride Broad while we walk to the cart.
Oh, this is gonna be so magical.
And then I guess when we get to the cart, what I really wanted to do was like grab. Oh wait, are they gonna accept payment or like how much?
For the necklace, they don't ask for anything.
And then I was like, how much is it? And I have
It's
like a gold.
quite okay.
Oh, okay. I feel dirty.
If you'd like to take a bath, we can provide one for you as well.
It's okay. Like I ask for stuff all the time, and they just
And
literally
then
hand it to me, so
I'll
you're
start
good.
walking to my cart, and
Okay.
then basically, yeah, with West on top of Brown. Jiggy, 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 jiggy.
You were
And-
chiggy chiggy ching.
And when we get to the cart, I'm gonna grab my little anvil, grab the little chain, and I have the platinum rings.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 of them, and then you'll see while Rognarv is not a hefty dwarf that does smithing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I will tell you, get off Brom. Like, get off Brom
Okay.
for a second. I have
Okay,
270. And I will have the little chain, the platinum ring, and then I will kind of hammer it a little bit, and then you'll see Brom with her
Stinger?
stinger touch the thing and it's like a little electricity, like ding. And
Oh,
then
she's like a little soldering tool.
yes,
As
that's what he does.
what item are you creating?
I'm not really creating. I'm creating like a necklace with a ring on it.
Okay.
Basically, it's that. And I have 2 of them. I'll give one to West.
As Wes, you have a necklace
check
with a
necklace.
platinum ring on it.
Oh,
I
Okay.
usually give this to what I consider family.
Aw.
I know we haven't been traveling long, but this helps people battle. It helps us battle together in sync. It's quote unquote, it's
Serial components for the.
it's a component for warding bond. Where if I touch you, we can battle together and help each other in battle.
Aw.
Within
Wes
60
is putting
feet.
the necklace on,
Within
and
60
he's
feet.
totally not correct.
Are you mentioning the parameters of the enchantment?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, as long as you don't go too far.
Wes, as you have that information on you.
I'm putting the necklace on, and I am trying not to cry about it, but I kind of sort of cried about it.
Like, look, I'll show you. And I'll cast Warding Bond.
As the spell gets casted on you. Okay. Cool.
I'll cast it
So
anyway.
it's-
I think it's Warding Bond. That's the one with
It's gonna write Rognarv, right?
You take half the damage.
Kind of damage
Yeah.
to
As Wes, when the spell gets casted, you that same feeling of the connection and like tether that you had, you feel that, and you can see that tether with him connected from the platinum ring to the other platinum ring, and then it fades away.
Now, look, Bram. Don't actually try to attack him, but attack him.
As you see Braum attack you for 1 point of damage, and then the physical wound that you receive, minute, but to completely disappears, and you see it on the exact same position, on the exact same hand, on Rognarv.
I think it makes you less damage.
Yeah, it gives you resistance.
Advantage or
Oh.
resistance. I believe it's like resistance to. I mean, advantage when you're getting attacked.
I thought I could be wrong if the spell's if I misquoted so, but I think the spell says that any damage that
Yeah,
Wes
any damage-
receives, it gets halved, and then you take the second bit.
You gain +1 AC to saving throws and his resistance to all damages.
Okay, so it's resistance to damage. Okay.
Also, each damage
Yeah,
takes the
yeah.
same.
Warding Bond is has been dropped in chats for reference. So
Thank you.
Oh,
All right. Cool.
somehow.
So if anything that I said it was not correct, then the correct version of that it was done. But yes. So
Yeah,
the
I also have the ring in me. I guess it's glowing or something. I don't know.
regardless, Wes, you see that the damage was reduced.
okay. Oh, I don't know about that. I get hit a lot.
Don't worry, I am a hefty dwarf with a shield.
As I look down at this not so hefty dwarf. Yes, you are.
The metal on him and the steel weighs probably as much as he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Armor off. It's like dipping a cat in water.
yeah.
Yeah.
So about 2 hours and so pass by. Who is attending mass and who is not?
Orcdeath.
I am.
If I get dragged, I will.
Lass is also
If
not
nobody
attending mass,
actually
as she's
drags
about to
me,
perform
I'll
a show
stay
at the
mass.
same tower that you guys are staying.
Right.
So at least you'll have very good
And
entertainment.
I'm going over to the table of the soldiers that came in.
Okay, okay.
I want to thank you for the drink, my lad. Mind if I sit with you?
Of course, and you
Some
see
stories.
you hear the of the steel of his foot, and then he puts down a chair. Where were you stationed?
Here, there, and everywhere.
Here.
Where are you from?
We were at the front lines fighting against the orc hordes. Yeah.
Orcs.
Yeah, I got wasn't looking, and I stepped on a trap, kind of broke the foot, and then that's when a bandit of them came down, chopped it off. Don't remember the fight much. I remember waking up to shearing pain of my comrade burning my leg.
Right.
And he pointed at that right there. So owe you for that one. And the guy's like, ah! And then every single other person starts sharing their stories of what they have seen, either fighting against the orc horde on Balskin, or dealing with mercenaries from Varasi itself, since it's a giant city-state. essentially. So if they were winning too much, some people started leaving and taking what they could, or if it like shit hit the fan, they would just in the middle of the night take whatever they could and leave. And some of the soldiers had to defend for themselves without a captain. They did mention the last wall, and as they're saying that even though they were fighting on opposite ends, anytime that they needed aid, the last wall would always come to the fan as almost being a buffer, as what is it like? So 10 years and apparently they found the bloody meteor. Not sure exactly what it was, but they found it. The queen has it now. That's all I heard.
So don't know of any untouched gold that you may have heard about that.
We were paid pretty good and weekly. Plenty of alehouses. I think I've hit every single whorehouse and alehouse from Karamaga all the way here. But no, it's been quiet. Almost the last few months, no single word. Being bored. And we just got the word that we can come back home. So here we are.
Best for your family.
Yeah. I need to see my wife. And he kind of stands up and starts moving, being drunk here and there. As for Orcdeath's purposes, the war that was happening at the beginning of the campaign was essentially a meteor fell 10 years ago now, and a lot of religious acolytes said that this was their calling, in all facets of religion and people and creeds were trying to see what this was, as they feel that it was something that fell from heaven. The first there was the Orc Horde land, which is northeast of where you guys are. It's a massive territory filled with mountains, pretty well protected for them. The Queen, which is in the city, funded the war for all of Aracio. Just paying mercenaries who could never get it was a huge reward. If that reward was claimed, it's up for debate. And then the last wall is a small little nation of monks and paladins that view that anyone who would have this artifact in their hands would not know how to use it well or wield it well, and was afraid of being used for evil. So it was essentially three fronts fighting for it. And to Orcdeath, apparently now the artifact has been returned, and it's this is the city where it was funded. So if the war is over, then the queen must have it. This is some info for.
This is the petrified queen we're talking.
Yes, yeah. Just some info since we came a little bit late into the game. Yeah. But other than that, Lass starts to perform her songs, and everyone starts getting captivated, and you see the candles flicker and flare as her bardic music starts affecting physically the bar. And when someone tries to leave, she kind of like moves her eyes, and just the door just shuts to prevent them from leaving the bar.
We're all part of a captive audience.
Literally captain.
Literally at the moment, she wants to get paid. Ariell, as you are entering the mass, and you see that there is a large amount of individuals just outside. As one of the young acolytes comes and goes to you, I was told that you should use the back door to not cause a scene. I don't know what that means.
Very well. Are there enough seats inside for...
No. We're booked.
Wait, real quick, out of character. Since I got my new character sheet written down...
Yes, yes.
Do I have the sending stones, or do you have them, Oria?
Let's say Ariell has one, Oria has the other one. Write it down on your sheet.
Got it. Okay. Then I guess I will go into the back door. I'll thank him.
Okay.
And when I get inside, do I see Oria during my time, like going into the church anywhere?
Oria, would you be there early?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay, then you will see Oria, kind of in the middle. Like it was crowded, but for some reason they do have 2 aisles of seats reserved for Ariel's friends, as the priest says. The Bogabon and the bag of beans, as Father Flick has said.
Like I said, if I was dragged by someone, I will go. If not, I was gonna stay.
Okay. Wes, are you going?
Yeah, I have to go.
He's gonna get his chicken nuggies out.
I want my chicken nuggets.
And I'm going to use the sending stone to call to Oria.
Alright, Arez, you hear his voice a little bit louder than usual since it echoes here within the church, but the muffling and chatter of everybody here doesn't let it like echo tremendously.
Oria, this is Ariell. When you get to the front door, give the acolyte your sending stone for the service if you don't mind. He informed me that there are not enough spaces inside of the church for the amount of people gathered outside. I would like for them to at least be able to hear what's going on inside the temple.
Oriel holding the stone like, this is Oria. I got it.
Sure.
You guys text like parents, I swear.
Sure. I mean, it's not going to be the best speaker in the world, but yeah, it will work.
Put it away.
As Oria, do you do so?
Yes, you will.
Alright, as Father Flick grabs it, thanks you 100 times, and then walks, kind of pushing the crowd a little bit. As you see some,
return it after.
and you see he gives it to one of the older kids, and he kind of grabs it and he's like, and you see that eventually there'll be a pretty
Like
tall
the rocks.
half orc who comes by, and the half orc will put him on his shoulder, so it's even taller. Wes is going rogue. He did not drag you. Are you going?
I'm not
Okay.
going if I didn't get dragged. That's
Okay.
what I'm
But, you know, I'm gonna say I have to go to this church thing because Ariel wants me to be there. But you know,
Are you guys trying to guilt
we're
me?
now family, but you don't have to go. You don't want to.
Are you
force
guilting me to it?
Like, it'd be cool if my friend was there, but like, it's fine.
There we go.
I was like,
There's the guilt.
I guess I'll go. Do I have to dress up nicely?
You see
I'm not
that-
dressing up. Are you kidding me?
Wes has dirt on his chest and face.
I am literally covered in dirt, and I don't wear a shirt. And the trench coat I've been wearing probably hasn't been washed in like weeks.
And think
Oh,
about
God.
no deodorant.
Oh god.
What's deodorant?
And you're right about that height.
You smell Wes pretty well.
Right.
Yeah, I guess. As soon as if we're leaving, like, I'm gonna go on top of Brom, like obviously. Like I'm gonna go over there, and then Brom's pincers is fixing my beard.
Okay, as your beard gets extra nice, presentable by any dwarven
It's
standards.
already luscious.
I'm like, ching, 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 ching.
As Ariel, as the you guys get seated and you see that the crowd outside is about 15 people or so, and inside is all the seats are completely filled, and there's people just standing outside. Maybe about 150 that fill the inside, and then the ones that are spilling over to the outside.
There's like a lot of people.
Yes,
We're walking. I'm on top of Brom.
Yeah, people are moving away as they see you. You see a couple of acolytes kind of grab you and like, oh please, this way. It's about to start.
My shield is on my back. The eye is like
Just looking at everybody.
looking at everybody.
Wes, if you are able to see, you see a crazed eye on the back of his shield, just looking at and taking all the information.
That's not creepy
I am
at
not
all.
gonna have nightmares about that.
As two rows within, you see Oria sitting in a completely empty area, as she looks not uncomfortable, but just like, okay.
Yeah.
This isn't my normal thing, but I'm here to support. And Wes, you technically have about 5 seats that could get filled in, including Oria's. So where do you guys want to sit? Like, do you want to sit right next to her? Theoretically, you can sit all the way at the end if you're still mad. Just giving you the option.
No, because I don't want to be an asshole, so I'm going to go sit next to Oria, and then it's like, why are there all these fucking empty seats? People can sit down.
I guess West will be sandwiched. I'll be right next to West all day.
She'll look directly at West and just be.
I will yell at the back, hey, we have empty seats. Somebody can sit down.
As you see one of the younger boys kind of has a little bit of snot on his nose. We were told that this is for Ariel's friends.
Okay, well, he doesn't have a lot of friends, so you might want to, like...
Ouch.
Okay.
I'm in the background. I sense a disturbance.
Asshole, he was just saying actually.
As you see Wes, I'll say that all of you guys can see this happening as this young kid goes over to Father Flick. I was told to let you know that Ariel doesn't have that many friends, so they can sit there if they want. And you see as he's drinking some blessings beforehand and drinking some of the holy one, and a little bit of it gets on his face. I'm gonna sit now. And then you see the little kid sit right next to you. Well, if it's Oria, West, Rog, and Brom.
Brom is kind of like, for example, this is like the. We're
Brom
in the very first one, right?
2 from it, yeah.
So he should be. Oh wait, we're not on the very first.
No, you'll be 2 from it.
Oh.
As all the acolytes start sitting at front,
Oh,
including Father
Yeah,
Fleck, who has
Brom
the
will
best seat in town.
I don't know if Brom will fit like.
I'll say that she could take up 2 seats. She's mechanically inclined to move.
I'll put her in my bag of holding.
She technically is a medium-sized creature, right?
Yeah.
So theoretically, she should be able to sit there. Unless you want to put her in your bag of holding, that's up to you.
Make her sit like a people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll go like and then she'll stand up on hind legs and then.
That's amazing.
Like with her legs like this, the pincers are kind of like this, like right here.
You see the child that's taking up one of the seats, and as he looks over with the snot still dangling, like your friend.
She's real. It's a scorpion.
He looks at her.
I know.
As you see, as it's a little too full for the proper procedures of a Palor Mass to be conducted, as the sun is technically also winding down. You do see that Father Flick starts praying and casts a spell to make these globular lights appear, and then so there's a couple of lights that just start like flickering around, imitating the solar system, and. Awesome. You see that at the corners, even though there's plenty of light here, they're still lighting some candles now, in addition to it. And there's not enough room to pass through the center to burn some incense and to bless everyone. So you see that after that, Father Flick is burning some, and then he's kind of using a fan the best as he can, just wafting it to everybody. As when that's done, he steps up, gives a very brief prayer, and then it's like, and everyone, our special guest, and then he kind of just like walks down. You said he almost trips over himself before he kind of sits down, and then he like looks at everyone to make sure they're all paying attention.
I'm gonna
just
true form.
Just a little FYI too. It's kind of a bad thing that you put a dwarf that worships Morrigan.
Why is that a bad
in
thing?
your church.
Why is that a bad thing?
A dwarf.
What's up?
Huzzah!
Okay. As
believes in all gods.
as Ariel, as soon as your true form appears and the halo ignites, illuminates even more, your wings spread out, and you're turn up just a tad bit on the saturation level of the TV. And
The second Ariel does that, Wes is just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
as Wes says that, and then Rognarv, yeah, and then just completely echoed. And you see Father Flick just immediately with his eyes.
I close my eyes and you see a little smile on my face, like,
As a.
So it begins.
Yes. You invited your friends over for mass.
Yeah. I'm gonna walk up, take the podium, and just look at the crowd. Good evening. This is the first time I've ever given a sermon in this realm, so my sincerest thanks to you all for being here. My name is Ariell Darren the Benevolent of the Olympian Glades of Arborea. bringer of joy and peace and champion of the light. I have traveled this realm for over 213 years. I've witnessed much darkness, death, and sadness. As I've witnessed the darkness, so too have I also witnessed the light and the good of humanity. I have witnessed life, love, and the good in the hearts of mortals. I wandered this realm alone for many years, an outside observer to the deeds of man. And after many years, I have come to understand the bonds that humans have for one another. These concepts, while not unheard of in the heavens, are not widely practiced. Sitting at the right hand of the seat of joy, these bonds were things unknown to me, but things I came to know only during my time amongst you. The bonds of friendship, the bonds of family, and I look over at Oria and West when I say that, and finally, the bonds of love. Your time on this earth as humans is short. Sickness, old age, and otherwise. Do what you can in such a short time to leave the biggest mark. Live for others, give selflessly, and bring joy to those around you. You need not money to bring joy, but kind words or even a smile would suffice. Do not disregard someone's capacity for selflessness, loyalty, courage, and love, based solely upon their appearance. Sometimes you find those you least expect to have the greatest capacity for those attributes, and I look directly at West. Do not stand before the gates of Celestia full of regret and shame that you left this life leaving behind pain and sadness. If you are uncertain what you can do to help others, then pray. Ask the gods for their guidance, as there are many with open ears to hear. As sure as the sun is to rise, your prayers are sure to be heard. With that, please close your eyes and reach out your hands. With that, I remind you, and I just kind of like bow my head a little and close my eyes. Everything in this world is touched by the sun. Nothing escapes its light. The trees towering overhead, the grass beneath our feet, and the food we eat are all sustained by the light of the sun. And as they are sustained by the light, so too are we. Even when the sun has set and the darkness spreads across the earth, even then, Pelor's light can still be found in the moon and stars. We give thanks to that light and to Pelor who gives it. Amen.
You hear everyone in sync also give their amen.
Allah!
And I just look over at the crowd. Thank you.
Wait, I was supposed to say something? Shit.
I look over at Father Flick. And thank you, Father, for allowing me to speak to the congregation this evening.
Thank you. That was beautiful. And you see, like, there's a tear coming down his cheek. And as you guys exchange seats, the mass proceeds as per usual. And the words of the Father are very stumblish and hesitant at times here and there. But the mass goes on for the next 40 minutes or so.
Oh, dear God. Can I roll for paying attention?
Or just there be sure.
Rognarv is asleep.
Rognarv's sleeping every now and then. He gets a nudge to be woken up as the mass ends, and for the next 20 to 30 minutes, people will go up to you, Oreo, and thank you. Is there anything specific that you guys would like to do at the end of that? As there's currently about a line of people still trying to shake your hand.
I just for context for the whole mass, West is the worst person to sit next to in church because he will literally not sit still.
Oh,
Fidgeting and moving and
that's
trying
probably
to.
why I was
Moving,
waking
just
up.
like
His foot's not
can't say
comfortable.
something.
That's probably why Rognarv was waking up in between his little naps, because you were fidgeting. But I was like, and then you start moving. You're like,
Constantly
Is it
shaking
over?
his leg. Yeah.
Hear a slight tap, 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 tap.
Can't help it. It's a legit trait that I'm passing on to Wes. Perpetual leg shake. Perpetual leg shake.
It's a real thing. As at the end of the mass, you will see the line that starts getting down. You notice that the same half-orc that lifted up the child as he comes in, And with a little bit closer observation, Ariell, you notice that he's very well dressed. Two-piece suit, very nice shoes, completely bald, has a scar on one of his eyes. You see that even his tucks that are extending, as you thought it was a half-orc, and now you see that he's full-blooded. Has a ring of gold attached to the tusk. And he goes over to you. And when you look at him, he's almost as tall as Oria, but as big and muscular as Wes. And his suit is very tailored to him. So whenever he moves, it flows freely. I've never seen you before, but I'd like to thank you for this beautiful speech that you gave here.
Thank you.
It was very nice. I am enjoying the church and what they bring to our city.
Those words mean a lot. Thank you very much.
As not really a worshipper myself, but I've seen what religion can do to people and the kindness it gives them. I'd like to thank you for that. And then he extends his hand, which is massive. You can see that most orcs that you've seen, his hands are rough as all can be, but his nails are perfectly trimmed, perfectly filed. His suit is cuffs right where it should be, even when his hand extends. And when he shakes his hand, you see that he intentionally puts very light pressure on you, and you almost don't feel his hand on you at all as he shakes your hand.
I shake his hand, I just kind of nod my head.
The next time. And then he tips his... well, he wouldn't have a hat on because he's in a church. As he has his hat on his... inside, between his armpits, and he just thanks all of you guys and then leaves.
I look over at Oria and West. Anyone know who that is?
I have no fucking idea. That just seemed really weird.
Yeah, that was odd.
That's the fanciest orc I have ever seen.
Agreed. Very
Usually
polite.
I don't like orcs, but that orc can rest.
I mean, I have no general opinion on anyone depending on race, but that guy just seemed weird.
He does pay his debts.
So...
That guy doesn't just wear a shirt, he wears something over his shirt.
That guy wears a shirt? Who the
And
fuck does that?
And it has buttons on it, too.
What? Oh, that's too much.
Well, as the mass has ended, it is currently closer to 9 than 8. The last song is about to end from Laz's performance when an encore appears and a couple more minutes of singing. I mean, she's not bad at all. Maybe a little bit too upbeat, and some songs sound slightly too depressing, but it's good in general. Not enough
It's being
rowdiness.
accepted by the crowd.
Yeah, exactly. And as the night continues, and it's about to get into bedtime time, what do you guys want to do?
I need to go find Chattington, because I need to discuss with him about the possibility of the Queen being brought back to life and what that might do about the government he's trying to build.
Okay.
I need a drink.
Hey,
Because that was...
weren't you supposed to get some
That was something.
chicken with this?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ariell promised me some chicken. What's up?
Yes, oh. I'm like looking around kind of nervously, like, crap, where's the nearest chicken place?
He said Chicken Depot. Probably from I'd say for the sake of convenience, we could say that the Sea Devils Tavern would have the food that you would need. And you've also been there and have eaten there.
I will accompany West to the tavern then to buy West his chicken.
As
Before I go to
do you guys all follow suit?
Yeah.
All right. As Orcdeath,
Needs to
you
be
see
cut up and
your party come in as Lass is divvying up the money that they won for that night after your maybe 6th beer. You all see Lass organizing her instruments and thanking the crowd and generally giving
how
her.
does the sea devil look?
It looks like normal.
Is it fixed No.
It's it was the night before, and the items that were damaged are fixed. You don't really notice. The only thing you notice, it is packed. Like it is a packed bar. But people are leaving now as soon as the concert is over.
I was just wondering if there was like some.
There's no damage or anything at the moment that you would have noticed.
Now, again, you've mentioned earlier about oh my goodness, the soldiers that came back from war.
Yes, they're still here. Some of them are still here. You notice some of the armor. You notice a lot more weaponry and more like your standard adventurer, but two similar of weapons. Same short swords, same hand axes, same crossbows. Maybe not filled with bolts, but they're keeping what they had.
Does anybody look injured at all or anything like that?
People look hurt. The injuries that they have will be forever. They're not bleeding. They're not hurt in that sense, but some are missing either a leg or they have recuperated what they could naturally, and unless you have a very, very powerful spell, there's not much you can do at the moment. There's no healing to be done.
I don't have any. Because I think Regenerate's the only one that can actually technically grow back body parts or whatever.
Yeah, and not saying that everybody's damaged to that extent, but you do notice that in between here. As you see Orcdeath with a group of fellow soldiers.
Hey,
What's up?
where have you been?
Here,
You've been here this whole time.
of course. Got
Why
good
did
ale here.
I think of that?
Ale's worth drinking here.
I'm immediately gonna go to Orcdeath and just like put my hand on his shoulder.
I'll just say,
Have
the
you?
ale here is worth drinking, real quietly, except for the pisses this guy's crying very ready to drink.
They have really good ale at Channington's, but have you seen the original Stone?
As he mentions, a very astute dwarven artist. That might be a little bit too much, but I mean,
He's like the best
master craftsmanship.
craftsman of stone.
The name is familiar.
I've heard of it, lad.
They have a lot of
But I like-
Channingtons.
But I like his brother. He makes good ale.
What's his brother's name?
Albert. Now take each letter.
Albert Sunstein.
Druid Stone and Albert Stone.
Nickname Cerveza.
Student lineage just grows. I love it.
Oh, the history of Sunstein. We'll have a family tree and everything. Everyone's a master crafts at something.
Stone 2020.
Yes.
Wait, they have Stone ale here?
As you see the barmaid. No, we don't. But we have some piss if you want some.
Plenty of that, lad.
I have piss too. Do you sell that? Can I sell that?
As you see that she starts pouring an ale and then gives it to one of the guys that's started attending, and they throw a pretty weak light beer towards you.
What is this? Water!
You're like, they're running me dry. That's all we have until I can get some more supplies.
It's okay.
Unless you want
Well,
some.
I mean, if you want, you can contract Orcdeath. He makes pretty good ale.
Oh, that makes
And
pretty
see,
good
she looks
ale.
at
Like,
you.
it's
Know, we
cool,
never
yeah.
really talked. You make good ale?
Great ale, lass.
It's not as good as Stone ale, but it's up there.
I don't know. I mean, I drank a lot of stuff with labels that I couldn't read, so I'm just gonna assume that Orcdeath is the best.
She's like, alright, we might put you to work. And then put you to work again. And she kind of walks away. So, party at the bar. What do you guys do?
I'm not gonna drink.
It's really
Or
late.
it's just gonna people watch.
I mean, I'm gonna as I'm walking in, I would probably look at Lass and be like, hey, sorry I missed your show. Ariel forced me to go to church. Otherwise, I would have been here.
As you hear
Ouch.
the jingle of coins in her new acquired bag, and she puts it in her bag holding. It's okay. That's a pretty good show. I'll play one next time. Ariell heard you were playing. You were doing a concert or something. You were talking at your church. That sounds interesting. I'm gonna go grab my beer now. And then she just patronizes you guys, and then just goes and grabs her ale and then comes back.
Classic lass.
So, chicken is ordered, brought to
Yes.
you. Very nice and juicy. Anything else other than that you guys would like to do at the bar?
Again, for the most part, Oria is just people watching.
Okay.
So she's keeping to herself because she knows Fred West is mad at her.
I want some chicken.
Wes is making Ariel order as many orders of chicken nuggets as he legally can.
Legally?
Oh my god.
Legally.
I think that just depends on how much money. Well, let me see how many chickens I have in the back.
Oh boy.
Like a 12-piece box or some shit. Like,
They can cut it up.
Party fun.
Wes,
Not 12 chicken nuggets, but 12 chicken pieces.
after
12
after the hour or to 3-4 going on 5 hours of just soldiers coming and drinking and eating and pretty much running the bar dry of food and liquor, they have 5 more chickens in the back. With the one that just got brought up, 4 more.
I mean, I'm fine with that.
I will pay for 1 chicken tender meal or chicken nugget meal immediately. So I will look at Wes and slide. How much is it?
A silver would
I will look at
D5.
Wes and slide the silver across. I hope you enjoy your chicken tenders. And I'm going to look at the barmaid, and for any orders in advance, and I slide a gold across to her. Enjoy the food. And I say, I'm going to be at Chattington's. And I leave.
Say hi to
And
us.
when I get to the door, I'm going to look back and look at Wes and Oria and everyone else and just say, thank you for coming tonight. I really appreciate
As
it.
you
Yeah, I guess it wasn't that bad.
As you're about to step out, you see someone coming in through the door, and you see that young tiefling man again, that boy, technically. As he goes in and gives a polite bow, as he's almost about to word into you. He's dressed pretty proper. Apparently, I'm missing the tiefling mini that I thought I grabbed. All right then, cool. I do not have a tiefling. Okay, we'll use this guy. As he comes in, pardon. It kind of moves as you kind of move awkwardly here and there, and then just moves away. And he sits at the bar. A shot of something strong, please.
I watch that happen as I close the door. And we didn't get Oria's sending stone back.
I'll say that
Oh,
you
no.
you guys grabbed. You had it back.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
That would have been something that would
How
have
close
definitely.
does he sit down next to him?
I say because of how full the bar is, maybe about 5 feet away from you.
Away from me?
Yeah, from you, from the door. Like he's
How
almost
far away from Oria?
15 feet
Okay,
with
I'm gonna,
noise here and there.
I'm gonna leave and kind of let the door close, and then I'm gonna pick up the sending stone, Oria. Let me know what you find out about that tiefling, if you don't mind.
There's a tiefling. She looks back. Just like, oh come on.
What the fuck are y'all talking about? I'm just assuming Wes is at the same table as Oria.
Oria's gonna just be like, nothing.
What? I heard. What? Are y'all talking about me?
No, we're not talking about you.
And I just
No,
say
no, no,
louder,
no, no.
West! Just eat your chicken
What?
nuggies.
Fuck you. Yes, I am. Thank you.
So, as I would say that within the soldiers leaving where they were seated and you guys filling in those seats, you were able to Rog and Orcdeath, you were able to hear the slight little conversation they had about the young man that just came into the bar. As you see that the barmaid puts rolls him a shot of whiskey, Yes, he drinks it. No, too strong. Okay, it's fine. Another, please.
Is that kid legally allowed to drink?
He looks really young. But the kind of
Just
slight
less
little
assumption.
horns.
Just looking at him, just like, is this kid legally allowed to drink?
Oria's looking over, and it's like doing the equation meme. Like, oh god, is he?
I don't know. He's like or something.
As you notice that his tail was kind of like wagging, like in like almost like an exact pattern, and then as soon as he takes the first shot, starts kind of zigzagging the 8, and then he starts sipping the third shot, and the tail kind of goes in circles, and then stops, picks up, and then stops again. That's good. And then you see that he just is in deep thought with himself.
I'm concerned. Concerned mother.
Concerned mother, Oria. You okay? Oria, are you okay?
Is he okay? You want me low? Do you want to go ask?
What do you guys do?
You always bother me by the time I take a sip of
Yeah, but
something.
you're you.
Oh, but he's fine. He literally looked like he drank a thimble of, and that's like his exact body weight.
How loud are you being?
West is never quiet.
Oh god.
I want to say that West speaks at a dwarven whisper.
Okay. So, what do you guys do?
Oh god, Oria's just gonna look from west. Is Rognarv sitting at the table with us?
Yeah, Rog and Orcdeath are still there. Ariell's the only one that is left.
Oh god, fine. Yeah, she'll get up and just kind of like go and like, okay. She's just concerned.
Are you gonna go up to the kid?
Trunk on like, pats like with her trunk on the shoulder, like, are you okay?
As she looks at you, Madam. Hello. How can I help you?
Are you?
As his eyes look like he cannot keep them open quite right.
Aw.
Yes?
Someone's having half the time.
He's a baby.
How can I assist you? And then he's not pointing at you. He's pointing slightly towards the right.
Oh man.
The right?
He's like,
Oh god.
he can't fucking.
Oh god. Oh god.
Yeah, that kid's fucking wasted.
Is there any spell I can do to cure drunk?
Do you say that?
I'm gonna say that a little bit out loud.
I think
As-
we're able to
as-
Harry Potter.
Yeah, as he says, "Oh yeah, I don't worry. I'm a priest. I can do this. Watch, it's a magic trick."
You're a priest and you're drinking like that?
And then, and you see a holy energy just consumes him. Oh, that did the trick. Hi. And then you see,
good?
I'm very much better now. Yes, thank you. And you see that kind of grabs a necklace on it. Roll me perception, Oria, if you want to.
Sure, why
I'm
not?
gonna like elbow Rognarv and be
Holy
like,
shit.
dude, that guy just cast a spell and it made him stop being drunk. I need to learn that.
I can teach it to you. 23.
You
I think.
you definitely see an emblem of
Hey, let's get
Farlagon
wasted.
as he kind of tucks it in his shirt, and you hear it clink against some metal and
I
maybe
what?
Farlagon, the god of the roads.
Okay.
And it like clinks inside, so maybe he has like a chainmail shirt or something within, because the metal clinks against more metal with inside of his shirt. And he looks at you as you look very unimpressed, and kind of like looking at you. Did I say something that I don't remember? Did I insult you or something? Because I apologize if that was drunk me, not current me.
No, just you were shooting down shots like water, and I was concerned.
Yeah, I do that when I get paid. It's a
But
bad
you're fine
habit.
now.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I really shouldn't be drinking too much. It's not good for the mind.
Yeah, you really shouldn't. You look like you're 50 pounds soaking wet.
He looks at you, Wes. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, what did you do to take off the drunkenness? I want to learn that.
Yeah, that was cool. Can I learn that trick?
Sure. Takes about 15 years worth of praying and meditation, and you can easily learn it.
Yes.
Oh wow. Yeah, I don't think I'm living past 40, so that's not gonna happen.
As he chuckles. It's not terribly hard to do. It's just irritating that I have to do it because I don't know how to drink.
I'm gonna look at West. Hey, you wanna?
I mean, I can teach you how to drink.
No, that's fine. I weigh 50 pounds. Remember?
Yeah, it's absolutely true. Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna look at West. I'm gonna nudge West. I'm like, hey, you wanna experiment? I have some healing spells. Maybe that works.
As much as I am a fanatic for experimentation and scholarly work, I will tell you that will not work.
Oh.
Most, and as he points over, dwarven ale is mixed with some herbs that would accumulate in the body as to be some sort of poison. So a restoration, even at the minutest level, would cure that. The intoxication our bodies reads almost equivalent to how you would be poisoned. So our bodies have the natural response to do so. But that's just boring shit.
You just said a lot of fucking words right now, and I like tuned out at half of it. So yeah.
As he grabs the 1/4 of the whiskey that's still there, takes a shot of it.
Is he complaining that it's not strong enough or something?
No. He was saying that how he can cure his alcohol.
No, when he drank, was it?
No, he got drunk off 2 shots.
Like, did he say, I'm not strong enough?
No. He was saying that dwarven ale is strong.
He got drunk off of West's breakfast. Let's be honest.
I'm look at West. I'm like, hey West, I have
What?
dwarven scout. You want to make him drink this?
He's gonna look at you. No. I
I
can.
was whispering it to West. I don't know if you.
I can hear you. I have ears, and they're very pointy.
Mine's not.
I have ears and they're very round, so you know we all have ears.
We do. I have 2, and you have 2, and he has 2, and she has 2.
Yeah, too.
What about Brom? Hey,
Brom
can you hear
has
me?
as many ears as they want to have.
Brom, can you hear me?
Excellent.
What's your ears?
As he looks at you guys.
Rob, blink once if you hear us.
He doesn't blink.
As you see that the tiefling takes a look at the bar, and it looks at you. War veterans, adventurers. Let me take a guess. And he points towards Oria. You. And then looks at you, put it down. Are good with elemental magic. Don't tell me if I'm right. Just let me. I try to see if I can read people, and then goes over towards West. You smash things, obviously. And then he takes a look at you. But you also deal in something you don't know. I can smell it off your fingertips.
Oh, this boy is smart.
You
Creepy.
are a
That's so creepy.
wizard who knows how to work with metal.
Wizard. Are you insulting me?
And he looks over at it. And you're not afraid to take a life.
No.
Like,
How
Brom,
close was I?
Brom, he called me a wizard. The bastard.
Yeah, you're way off the wrong. He is so not a wizard.
Apologies. And a talented craftsman who has a wide mind. Was that
I am
closer?
smart.
I can tell.
In fact, I know dealing with, so thank you very much.
Well, I think I need to buy myself a room before I embarrass myself and get drunk yet again.
You want the dwarven scout?
I want to be drunk for a night, not a week.
Do you want the dwarven scout?
No,
Knock it, lad, until you tried it.
I fear that I do have more missions on my belt and I must go. As a rose, she calls for me. Or he, technically, I guess.
This guy talks fancy.
When I need to,
No,
yeah.
really. I'm gonna bow.
I see
Words never
bows
impressed
well.
me.
Too many words getting away what he's saying.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know, right?
He's
Oria's
talking
gonna just kind of like
and just
look at the
coming
three
out.
and just
the
like
other,
yell stop.
And as
Nice.
he
I'm just saying, you're using too many words to get your point across. It's easier to get it within like 3 to 5.
he looks at you
And then
guys.
smash them.
I got shit to do in the morning. I'm gonna go to bed.
There you go. We're just starting you. Good night, good sir.
As he goes
I'm
over
ready now.
and starts.
I know a lot of things about things that I'm dealing with, madam. Thank you very much.
Don't ever call me madam again, Wes.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Is that you hear that he goes over, asks for a room, pays for it, and then you see that as he goes up, maybe 10 minutes later or so, you see a tray about 4 whiskeys get brought up to his room.
He's so dead.
Damn.
He's dead, Jim.
He's so dead. That's just a waste of good whiskey.
When the barmaid comes back, I agree with you, but he paid for it, so if he spills it or doesn't drink it or ends up on the floor, at least he paid for it.
That's true. That's good business.
As the night continues, of you guys sharing stories, drinking ale, piss ale, and eating some chicken nuggets.
That's my chicken nuggets.
Are you making them? I mean, it's pretty.
Wait, were you making it?
She just said that if he wanted to, he could.
Oh.
We'll see if that works out. But it's not like he's going to bring out his kit right now in the middle of everything.
No.
As Ariell, we
Then
will
I'll just
head.
share my dwarvish cup with Orcdeath.
Are you sharing? Are you bringing out beer of your own?
Yeah.
As when you do so, you see roll me sleight of hand. What did you get?
9.
9.
Boy.
Let's see. She is pretty busy, so I'll roll with the disadvantage. Disadvantage is 15.
Oh my god.
As a very hard piece of stone hits you in the head. Not enough to hurt, but and the rolls on the table, and you see that it's like very moldy, like stiff bread. If you want ale, you fucking order it from me.
I'll pay for you, but I'm drinking this. What about that?
Ah, works. Leave whatever you want at the counter. That's fine. Good doing business with you.
1 gold.
Sure. As business comes first for this woman. Ariell, as you reunite at Chattington's.
Yes.
As you see that him and Samantha are having a very late dinner. As you hear that they just came back not that long ago. As they bring you to the dining hall. Oh, that's alright. How are you doing? Oh, good
Very
old chap.
well. How are you chatting?
I'm good. Just came from a meeting. Great news, apparently. I wasn't informed until last minute, but. And you see that he's kind of a little peeved. Master Alvin Warvent contacted somebody at his church to come and unstone the. And you see that Samantha, the queen is unpetrified now.
Oh.
A talented young priest of the Farlagon Church came into town. As he was brought over, apparently he came, did his job, collected his bounty, donated it to the church, and left town.
I was. Ariel does have like a shocked kind of look on his face.
So, of course, as she looks at your concerned face and her face matching the concern, of course, the Council of Korvosa is going to meet tomorrow morning, and all 11 of us, since the High Priest is dead, apparently as well. We found that out. We're going to see if maybe the Queen will fill in the 12 spots. And we, as she looks very much at Chattington, and he's like currently with like a chuckle like, we need to discuss this properly. We have 12 people in line with different equal traits and responsibilities that we were fooled for 3 years or so. We can't just let, because a simple spell came, undo all the work I did. And she starts pouring some wine and drinks it.
Mayor.
Ariell, would you like some pheasant?
I am quite alright, thank you.
Okay, good. More for me. And then she just grabs a plate and then grabs your the wine glass that was supposedly for you. She just grabs it and just starts chugging it, puts it down,
She's gonna need that.
and you
don't
see
want to be with-
Chattington just
This is awkward.
eating but looking at her like.
So, well, that's kind of what I was coming here to discuss, but did not expect.
Oh my God.
I know, I was blindsided as well. Apparently, Master Allen did not tell anybody who he contacted with, and the kid, as I was told, just came in with the warband. No proper introduction, no nothing, just smooth talked his way in.
We were at the castle just. That would be today, right? Or
Second, yeah, this morning.
Just this morning, and my party and I had discussed the possibility of unpetrifying her, but of course we declined to do so because I felt, given what we and yourself have worked for in regards to leading Korvosa, that we needed to discuss what next steps would be if the queen were to be unpetrified. Tell me, this child, is he a tiefling?
To be honest, I wasn't told. I was just told it was a young kid who was part of the church of Farlagan.
I saw a young child, a tiefling child, arrive with a warband on my way from Mass.
Sounds like our guy.
He stopped at the front gates to pay homage to Farlagan, and I ran into him at the Sea Devil's Tavern as I headed here.
Well, there is our do-gooder.
So, what are the next steps exactly, aside from this meeting that you have tomorrow?
Well, the council will join the head mage, the lords and masters of the guilds, as along with some of the high nobles and families will regain, and we're going to discuss together what the next step is. By rights, she should have her position back, but we've been working too hard, and it would do a lot of hard work and good that the city has done. Also,
Agreed.
I don't know if I can trust a bitch.
I kind of light smile. That is one of the reasons we declined to unpetrify her this morning, was given all that happened under the Queen's watch. We have an idea when the false queen took power, and I tell her it's been like, 6 months, was it? About 6 months, or was it?
The 3 years.
Years,
Yeah.
that's right, yeah. So 3 years. I tell her about 3 years ago. But we, being fairly new to Korvosa, we don't know exactly how much the queen knew about what happened before she was petrified, where her allegiances lie now that she's realized for the last 3 years someone else has been ruling her nation, and people like
If that's
Lisa
correct, then
Vagabonds and yourself have been calling the shots in her stead.
yeah, if all that's correct, then she was blanked out 5 years ago. So her nation has been ruled by for 5 years. 3 of them by a evil witch. She takes like, you see that one of the glasses of wine is almost completely gone now. Just so you know, there is 3 orders to the council. The first 5 seats are of different. The Archmage, High Mage. She's not there yet. The third of the seats is Master Alien, who is a master of trade within the city. So he does have authority over our things, since we would be the top of the second tier at number 6 of the chair. I want to see if we can negotiate for hopefully the queen being at least in the 3rd tier of chair, at least so she can get her legs back, since Korvosa is a completely new city. New rules, new laws, new obligations to other cities and trade. The war is over. She's no longer funding it. There is a lot that needs to be discussed.
I'm unsure as to how sentimental this queen is. Hopefully, the fact that Chaddington now possesses, or the House of Chaddington, because she's Chaddington too, now possesses the horn of Korvosa as well as the bowl. Hopefully, that's something.
I'm gonna keep that kind of until noted. But yes, thank you as well.
Well, I do feel that of all the houses, myself, and I think I speak for the rest of the Elysian Vagabonds, trust both you and Chad the most out of anyone in the city. And we believe that you would be the most helpful to the people of Korvosa, the more influence you have in the city. So to that end, you have our full support. And I believe with that, I need to visit the Queen. Someone needs to fill her in on what she's missed, and I'd rather it be someone who will tell her the truth rather than a version of revisionist history.
Well, good luck with that. I hear that the castle is pretty guarded at the moment, making sure that she gets her rest. But our meeting is after first breakfast, since 1 second, let me make sure I'm reading the correct name. Oh, Lord Anxian Bottomhill needs to have his first brunch of the morning before second brunch, so he can have his meals a day. Our halfling is very respected on his meal agenda. So after his first breakfast, we'll attend to that meeting, and I'll see what I can do. But again, and she looks at Chad saying, "We're 6th in head."
So they're 6th in line, essentially?
Yes.
Okay. Well, after tomorrow, and if my meeting with the Queen goes as planned, hopefully we can bump that number up a few spots.
We'll see. It's odd that treasuring went to the 6th in line, and but we'll see. And you see Chaitin like, "Hello, somebody there." She just keeps on cheering onto his meat.
Oh boy.
And I'll also be there.
And with that, we're going to take a little break
Ah.
and reconvene wherever we want to reconvene. But yeah, all right. So we'll be back in a bit, y'all. Hey, yo, Vic. I've got the new script you sent us for the next episode. So we have new players. Who's Grayson? You know who that is?
Yeah, I'm reading that too. What's this? Tori Val?
So we have new players.
New players?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, dude. So it also says that the schedule's changed. We're playing on Mondays now.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, what happened to Tuesday?
That'll team out Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Okay.
And just one last little thing.
And it's online now?
Yeah, that. So we're not playing in the studio anymore. It's all online. All right, man. That fucking works for me. All right. Cool. See you later. Bye. And we're back. So, I will say that the Elysian Vagabonds got their night's rest. Spells full HP. If you need to rearrange your spell slots, please do so. Head die is half of them recovered, which I assume that most of you guys are full anyway.
Dwarf is counted on?
I would say some of it, yeah, depending on how hard you wanted to drink.
Oh no, I don't have a lot of it.
Then yes,
So, yeah.
it would be gone. So, party members. After a breakfast and food, wherever you would like to stay, Cheddington does have a location for everybody.
I'll win it back. I don't know about y'all, but I guess we'll be back to Cheddington's and sleep there. Maybe.
So after a nice breakfast being cooked, way too much food to display, the Cheddingtons were not there for breakfast as they had an early meeting, and they were told that they were going to return around noon or so. Stir was over. So, unless there's anything you guys want to do, noon will come by really soon.
Not really.
I was actually hoping overnight to go to the castle. Or maybe in the morning before Cheddington gets there.
Sure.
And talk to the queen if possible.
Sure. As soon as you approach late at night, late at night, yeah, that's where he's going.
Yeah.
The head of the guards, which you've seen many times, Sir Henry, as he comes along. Ariell, it's kind of late, isn't it?
Indeed it is, but I just found out some interesting and yet exciting news.
Oh yes, the queen's at the moment resting. It's wonderful, if I may say so. A meeting has been arising for the council tomorrow morning.
Yes, at 6 a.m., correct?
I think closer to 7 or 8, since Lord or Halfling Lord likes to
Yes.
eat pretty early.
Indeed. I would very much like to speak with the Queen prior to the meeting, perhaps when the Halfling Lord is enjoying his meal.
I don't know if I'm allowed. I would say after the meeting, especially being accompanied by Chattington, maybe there'll be more applicable time.
And there is no way for me to attend the meeting with Chattington as well, is there not?
It's a Lord's meeting.
I see. Very well then. I suppose I shall see you tomorrow.
I hope to see you as well.
Then yes, I will go to bed.
Okay. Morning, noon arises. Food. Plenty of whatever you need at the estate is given to you. Noon passes by. The Chattingtons are not back. 1 o'clock passes.
I think by 1 I could be there.
Okay. Ariell is heading out in the walking cart carriage.
Carriage?
So
Would you? Are you telling us that you're going?
I was
Yeah,
just-
yeah.
yeah. I was gonna-
I fill all of y'all in like first thing in the morning.
Oh, okay.
The Queen has been unpetrified
Uh,
without.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say during breakfast, Wes would have been talking about the tiefling that they saw
So
at
are
the
we all
tavern.
together now?
yeah.
Yeah. What did you find out about the tiefling? Anything?
He's like 50 pounds soaking wet, and he's shit-faced after 2 shots.
Not quite what I had in mind, but noted.
How
But,
was
like,
the
he does
queen
this-
uh,
unpetrified?
that's the
So-
good question.
I
Are you sure the queen is unpetrified?
And
Maybe
who
that's
did
a
it?
Well-
maybe that's another witch or hag.
I was hoping you might have more information on that tiefling because it appears.
Which I was getting to the good part. He does this really cool magic trick where he was like super drunk, and then he like kind of did that sparkly stuff like what you do, and then he wasn't drunk. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I wanted to learn that trick, but he said
Yeah, it's a
it's
nice trick. I want to learn it
but he
too.
said it's some kind of powerful magic that
Yeah.
takes 15
Yeah.
years.
Anything else to add?
I mean, I guess it was like regenerative or something because he was like talking forever about how Dwarven Stout is basically a toxin, which, I mean,
Yeah.
I would know if I was being poisoned, but I don't think I'm being poisoned, so
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's bullshit.
That's nice, West. Thank you.
Because
No, the kid
if we can
Okay.
find out,
basically
if we can find out who
lots.
did this,
That's all
Exactly,
that.
and this
Shut up.
is what I am getting to. I was hoping I'd have more information from West, maybe of the
I don't know, he does sparkly
Child,
heal magic.
besides
That's all I got.
drinking and drinking magic. Yes, that is one reason I was hoping y'all could find something out about him. I had my suspicions, and Samantha
Oreo?
confirmed them last night. That
You guys can turn the camera if you need to.
tiefling child is in fact the very same person who unpetrified the queen.
Well, maybe he's still on the.
if we can hire the lad, we could use him to save my friend.
Now,
Yeah, if he can if he can make people not turn to stone, then he could probably help other people that have been turned to stone.
Like me friend,
Yeah, like his friend. Is your friend?
Rafer the Barbarian.
Yeah, it just got really weird. Okay.
Well, yes, but now that the queen has been unpetrified, I tried to seek an audience with her last night so that she would not be filled in on the current situation by someone we may not necessarily trust or someone who does not have the full story.
You mean like a hag in disguise?
A what?
Like a hag in disguise?
Yeah, a second hag in disguise would.
Maybe she's the hag in disguise
well,
again.
yes, hopefully not.
There's a
But-
fourth hag somewhere.
Oh god, Paylor, please don't say that. Well, you see, now that she's unpetrified and she's had a day to rest and talk with people, the Chattingtons are no longer in line for the throne as we thought, or at least they're in line, but they're sixth in line. She's going to take back her throne, obviously.
Hey,
Samantha-
six is better than 17.
So that's true. Samantha and I, though, both worry that having been absent from her kingdom for about 5 years, she is not. How do I say this without?
She's not fit to be queen. If she's been
Yeah.
petrified for
Exactly.
more than the years that she's supposed to be
The city
serving
has
as
changed.
queen.
The city has changed immensely during her absence, including the expulsion of religion returning to the city, the Black Sun, the Lamashtu, the Water Hags, the tower collapsing. I mean,
The tower collapsing. You collapsed the tower?
oh yes, the
It's
Mage
perpetually collapsing is a thing.
yes, yeah.
Eh.
Oria says nothing on that.
There's
Should we let her know that there was a beholder hiding in that tower?
That would be.
I think the less we say, or let me rephrase this, the less you say, West, to the Queen would probably be best. No,
Okay, but I at least am direct and to the point. Isn't
Wow.
that what we want?
Yes,
Yes.
and that's the smartest way to go.
Once we know we can trust
Yeah.
the Queen.
Shortest distance between 2 points, the straight line, so
Uh,
a straight question.
I'm
Damn
going,
fucking right, or damn fucking right.
we need to tell her or inform her everything that's happened. I'm leaving now to attend the meeting or interrupt the meeting. They've been gone for quite some time now.
I mean, if you're interrupting a meeting, you might want to bring me. I'm very good at that.
Very true. However, I don't know if the Queen is going to consider the Elysian Vagabonds and the Chattingtons enemies for essentially taking over leadership of Korvosa when Chattington was not the first in line for the throne. And we are
Why would-
technically outsiders of the city. She may take
Oh yeah, would
offense.
she consider us enemies? We're the ones who saved her fucking city.
Yeah, but this is the
Exactly.
original queen. This is Wes talking, by the way. This is the original queen who married that fuckface king that I hated. So, they might be two peas in a pod.
She has no
And-
memory of us saving the city. We are just people who come up and claim to have saved the city and spent an enormous amount of money and influence to change her city.
Yeah,
to
but
influence her followers.
Yeah, but I'm
and
sure
her
she has
government.
I'm pretty sure she has memory of marrying that shithead king, though.
That's why I'm hoping to get to her before she is misled by anyone else and tell her who we are,
Well,
what we want. And
the more
what
we
happened.
talk here, the more wrong information she's getting.
Exactly. So shall we go? But keep information to a minimum, I would say.
Maybe
For
it's
now,
better if
let
hey,
me-
Bram.
Let me talk to her
We need
for
to
a
go to a
moment.
different town that has better ale.
Let me talk to her first and discuss what's happened, see how receptive she is. If I feel that we can trust her, then we may continue talking to her about certain events.
You see a lad stands up. I think some of you might be arrested, so I'm going to stay you right here and enjoy this chair and wine.
That is also one of my fears, is that she's going to consider both our actions and the Chattington's actions as treasonous in her absence. So, with that said, I believe we
Oria
can
was muttering like, well, time to hide as a mouse again in the castle.
That's not a bad idea. I could not do that,
Yeah, it's
but
really not a bad idea.
I would if I could.
I would rather not see my friends put in jail and possibly executed. Thank you.
Yes. So, Wes, don't talk very much.
Putting
But
Bram.
I think
Good
we
luck
do
with
need to-
that, lad.
As you guys see Brom just go into a bag of holding.
With that, I believe we need to
Bye, Brom.
take the carriage to the palace as fast as we can at this point.
So Laz will stay behind. Brom will be in a bag of holding, so I'm gonna put her here. Do you five go?
Like, I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
go.
we'll kind of stay
Yeah,
together.
when we get up to a certain point, when we get close to the castle, if Oria's in the carriage. She'll just wild shape into a mouse.
Okay. And being at your level, you can be there for I think 7 hours, 9 hours, technically.
Yeah.
Okay. So as soon as you guys arrive close to the castle, this large, almost pyramid-like castle is about 80 feet of just pure steps to go out into front, and you see the many outdoor classes being taught, the same fountains being displayed, a lot less guards than usual. You actually don't see the Captain Henry that you usually see at all. You see a younger man who is heading to the front of the gate. How can I help you guys?
Is Captain Henry available?
He's at the meeting currently. Is there anything I can do for you, Elysian Vagabonds?
We're here to see the newly resurrected queen and discuss what has transpired and what she has missed in regards to the attacks on her rule and the city itself in her absence.
Are you guys supposed to be in the meeting?
Well, no one's told us about such meeting except for the chatting
Yes.
last evening, but
Yes.
Looks
yes,
up.
we are.
seeing as we are heroes of Korvosa, I would hope we could at least get an audience or be in the know, I would say.
Wes, roll me a deception. Ariell, roll me a persuasion.
Yeah, my best stat. Please be good. I'm actually going to roll a good die. Okay, not awful.
Not terrible.
Section 12.
12, okay.
23 persuasion.
Not terrible.
14 plus 9.
As he looks at both of you with a slight miss of signals. And then kind of looks at Wes. If you're supposed to be in, I guess I should let you through. He kind of looks confused. Just weapons check, I guess. And he looks at like, no one told me what I needed to
Okay,
do.
you go.
Okay, and he kind of just grabs them all, puts them down. Can someone, I don't know. We're sure. Here, just you're good guys, right? He hands them back to you guys.
I just kind of pull out the Hero Korvosa medal and just...
Hello, you okay? First month here. Let's not piss people off. And then he kind of walks inside.
I'll put holding.
Oh, they give you a medal?
I just kind of put my blade on the back.
Technically, you guys have one.
Oh shit, I lost mine then.
Oh god.
I don't have a medal.
That makes sense that Wes will lose his medal. As you guys go about
Is this it?
10 or so minute walk within the castle, the coloring on the inside has definitely changed from the black and red to a lot of golds and blues.
She didn't waste any time spending money.
Yeah. You see that there a lot of the people that work within the castle are currently working really fast, and almost like people do notice that you guys are walking through, but they're not necessarily stopped or bothered, as it seems like many people are coming in and out just to redecorate the castle, making it a lot more fresh. You see a lot of windows being opened to just let air in. A lot of the tapestry that was on the walls is being taken off to put new ones on. And you see that even a lot of the pictures of the king are being removed at the moment. So, as you guys are walking through, and you see that the guy, who do I introduce first? Is there an order? I'll just stop. And before he knocks, you see the door open, and you see standing ahead a high elf woman just opening her hands. Seems we have heroes for the meeting. Would you? And you see that she looks a little disturbed, like she knew you guys were coming, or at least foresaw it or heard. Can we get some chair and more wine, please? And you see a large table with plenty of space in between. 12 seats. As the queen.
Like the queen?
No, this looks like a half. She's a full elven. The head of the Mage Academy.
Oh, okay.
And you see in the middle the unpetrified queen, surrounded by a whole bunch of other people.
Cards?
No, just them 12. As you see that the queen looks very excited, kind of looks at you guys like with like these puppy dog eyes. As,
Oh, well, that's good. Good
are these the ones? And you see Chattington. Oh yeah, these are my friends. Oh, great.
Chattington's filled her in already.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Hi, Chad.
Our work here is all.
Alright. You see Samantha just grab his hand, put it down. As the chairs get brought up and a red and a white wine glass gets put next to you, and a pitcher of very cold water gets placed in front of you guys
Did
as
you
well.
bring me a special dwarf chair? Or just
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah. As
This-
you see that the halfling is sitting like his butt is on like the part of the chair, yeah, and he's like just putting his feet on the other side. As the head mage, introductions, I suppose, to our uninvited yet welcome guest. You've all met me. I don't think I remember seeing you two though. As the elven woman speaks. Hi, Mage, Athanden. I can give you guys the names in a bit. And proceeding along, and almost like in an order goes by, and then as soon as the Chattington's name gets bugged, it starts on the other side. As you see the next person, Lord Arderan. As you see, this is a human male with like wavy hair and green eyes.
Alderon?
Alianor. Head of the essentially food and crops here. And then the halfling stands up. Master Alin, you can thank me for the queen being back. And everyone kind of claps, and she's like, oh, she looks embarrassed. Master of trade, anything that is part of the guilds and first transactions of agriculture. And gladly welcome our new church. That is, has also brought newcomers in for my church. Much appreciated. Then Lord Akin, that was Akin Bottomhill. Sorry. Akin Bottomhill is he's the halfling that brought everyone there. Then it's Madam Caitlin. She is responsible for the restoration and relations with Varasia. Lord Chattington, second of trade and the treasurer. Master Killen, who is head of the Fishermen's Guild. Then is Master Atub, who is head of the guild and the farming and agriculture of the forest nearby. And then it goes to the different districts of Diana, who is the oldest one amongst them, except for the elven lady, who she is in charge of the organization to represent Old Korvosa. Then there is Glasser, who is for New Korvosa. He's a very young half-elf. Henry, the head of the guards, and the queen. As they all sit there, and the head mage. So, first we'd like to thank you guys for saving the city, getting rid of the hags, which should have been my job, and here Henry's as well. Should have seen things that we didn't. Too enthralled within our own worlds. And as such,
That Oria's a mouse.
It's fine.
as Oria, you still a mouse?
Still a mouse?
Oh god, no.
Okay.
She probably would. Oh god.
Well, what do you do?
Does
No, she'll stay a mouse. She's gonna keep quiet.
Okay.
As
Just his mouth's like beady eyes getting like narrowed, just kind of like.
She says, I would also like to thank you for destroying the prying eye that has been told was in here. And you see that she closes her eyes, and as she closes it, says, no offense, and then opens it, and you see like they're beating gold now. And she takes a very close look at every single one of you. Madam, you do not have to be in that shape if you do not want.
Oh boy.
You're amongst friends. But I understand the concern. And you see the queen is just like, okay. And as she continues on, we've
Just a little mouse go down, and Oria will wild shape back.
you see a couple people just move away, and Charlton, that's my friend. And like a slight little clap, and you see Samantha's hand guys like, honey, no, and she's like, okay.
Oh. Chat. Just let the man have his
You
fun.
see the queen's eyes widen. Oh,
I'm an elephant person. Yes, I know.
yeah,
The
that's.
correct term is Loxodon, thank you.
Hi. Sorry, it's the first time I've ever seen a Loxodon. Where do you come from? It's a neighboring nation. Is that do we have more Loxodons in our city? Are
Let's
they
just
being
say
taken care
she's
of?
from a faraway land.
Not from here.
Not from
okay.
here.
Oh, okay.
Now, you said. I'm sorry. You said that the one elf, high elf, was from the academy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oria's gonna just be like, I mean, there were more Loxodons in the city.
Oh, one. As she looks wonderful. That's. Hopefully they come back. As
Don't get mad.
the elven woman looks. Yes. So you guys can be caught up. We've discussed the different managements of position, the deceit that we've had from high and low, the attacks with the fish folk up ahead, the illegal trades that's been running underneath, the slave trades that we've been having underneath our noses, the Tower of the Deceit of the the Archmage, who was some aberration that we thank you for taking care of in some way or another, destroying the beacons that hold the eye position here, eliminating these hags, and saving our town, and bringing more people, more trade, more good.
We are but servants to those who cannot stand up for themselves, protectors. While we can eliminate the threats, and did eliminate many of the threats in the city, we could not have stilled the hearts and minds of the citizens of Korvosa and led them to be at peace if it were not for the tireless efforts of Lord Chattington.
You see that the queen looked kind of surprised up. Oh, Chattington, you helped?
Yes.
And he's like, yes, I paid for some things.
He has been most helpful in restoring order in a otherwise chaotic time.
As you see the High Mage, as well as starting a adventuring guild to aid and help restore funds to the city when it needed it the most. Much appreciated, Lord Chattington. And then she looks directly at Samantha, and you as well, Samantha. Thank you. And you see Chattington's like clap now, and Samantha's like, you can clap for me.
Oh my gosh.
As the High Elf looks, but unless there's anything that you guys would like to bring into our meeting, we would just like to let you guys all know that the Queen has requested a position at the 3rd level of our council to keep the stability of the city intact, relearn what has been happening, and slowly and effectively, if voted on, move up ahead. And everybody looks at the Queen. Yes, I just don't want anything bad to happen on my account. I still need to process the death of my husband and understand what's been really happening with my city.
Don't say a damn word. Don't say a damn word.
Of course.
I also am very curious as to what happened with the meteor.
You're no.
As they all kind of turn towards you, guys. Is that something I said that's inappropriate?
There was no meteor at the site of the crater, I suppose. And the opposing armies, after spending an additional, what was it, 2 years?
Yeah.
Have returned home without ever finding a meteor of sorts.
Yes.
There is, you are, of course, Your Highness, correct. There is much that has changed in not only Korvosa, but the neighboring kingdoms, namely that of the Dwarves. And I can never remember the name of that.
The
that
Duke?
one. No, not the Duke, but the mountain. It was that the Mindspin Mountains that we caught the draft?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll tell her that, one of the most notable outside of your kingdom would be the dwarves in the Mindspin Mountains. It has been quite a long time since you were petrified, and I may not be able to be of any help for the first 3 years, but certainly if you have any questions about the threats that we encountered in your kingdom and what we have so far experienced and dealt with within Korvosa as well as outside of the city, we'd be more than happy to inform you and bring you up to speed.
You see that she kind of like moves her chair back a little bit and stands and looks around to make sure that no one's objected fine to her standing as the high mage sits down. As you're kind of noticing that this is when someone stands, they kind of have the chance to speak. Yeah. I would also, if it's okay with the council, as he kind of looks at Chaddington, if I'm correct, they're the Elysian Vagabonds, part of the mercenary guild that you started. Any report of? And she looks to the religious individual, Eileen, and then to the high mage.
The religious individual.
I mean, technically he is.
I spit in your brain.
As Modius, that the fiend, and then Lamash too. Any information on those would aid the city, as no, we have a look searching, and we're going to disguise it as a new rebuilding of code and help those that need it search each home. And you see that a lot of them are nodding their heads as almost she's trying to see if she's getting all the information correctly. And if we discover anything through the proper messaging channels, the Chaddingtons will inform you, or our high mage, and it would be a great service if you guys would do the same.
Of course, that's what we hope to do, to uncover new information and to pass it along to the kingdoms of this realm in order to better defend against the evils that are
When you say that, she kind of has a shook face and just sits down, kind of just sinks into her chair. As a Chattington's like, oh, can I, okay, and then everyone just kind of like looks down. Well, everyone, I'd like to thank everybody for assisting my friends here and what they've been doing, and together with the Elysing Vagabonds and our gentlemen's agreements, we will get to the bottom of all this. Here. Oh, yes, here. And then you see Samantha kind of just like grab the coat. Okay. Just he sits down as a high mage. Thank you, Chattington. But unless there's any information that you guys would like to add on to the meeting, and she kind of gazes her eyes towards Asine Bottom Hill, the halfling. I think it's your third meal of the day. He's like, yes. Great. Vagabonds, is there anything that you would like to add or bring to the front for discussion?
I will stand and just kind of nod my head. As we were not in attendance for the first few hours of the meeting, I'm still unsure of the extent of your knowledge in the events that have transpired. It seems that the council have briefed you adequately on the threat of Asmodeus and Lamash too. However, if or when Lord Akeem Bottomhill decides to take his third meal, if I may speak to you in private, and you may we may discuss what information you are missing, essentially.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I look forward to it. We'll leave the rest to the council.
As the high mage, well, I guess, as a hesitation in her voice, our second break. We will adjourn within as soon as Bottom Hill is done eating.
I have a question.
Oh no.
As West or as
No, this is big. Just
Okay.
big question.
Okay.
Were we all offered? Were all of us offered like the one glass of white and the one glass of red?
Yeah.
I want to say, because I have a feeling I know what West is thinking, I'm going to look over and I'm going to say, whatever you do, do not drink them individually. And whatever you do,
How dare you
Do
try
not-
to reverse psychology me? How dare you, sir?
Orcdeath
Yeah,
goes, too
Ariell,
late.
I know the proper way how to drink wine, and I'll look him dead in the eye as I take the white and I pour it into the red.
As you see a couple of heads turn to you, Wes, and you see the queen. That's your friend. As China, yes, that's your friend. He doesn't know how to drink wine.
And I'm gonna drink it just unwavering, staring at Ariell. Just
I'm gonna
chug it down.
I'm gonna nudge Ariel. I was like, well, you did say to drink it that way.
But usually when I tell West not to do something, he does the opposite of what I say. Yeah, I tried.
As you
He's
guys
a smart
are
boy.
having this conversation, you see the queen kind of goes over towards where you guys are with a large, kind of stuffy, and you see that she's kind of uncomfortable with it, but she's not making too much of a scene, other than just kind of shrug here and there.
As soon as she gets like real close, like maybe like 10, 5 feet
Sure.
towards us, I'm gonna get out of my chair, like knowing that she is the queen. I'm just gonna bow and sit back down.
You see that the Henry, the head of the guards, is eyeing her, and just you said it, not intrusive, but a general, just like making sure that she's okay. Out of everyone
Also-
here, he looks like the happiest that she's back.
And yeah, I'm
Well, yeah.
kind of eyeing her. You know, like, is this the queen? Or maybe it's another imposter.
As she goes over and like just grabs your hands very informally. I heard there was a dungeon underneath. The last thing I remember was hearing strange noises in the corridors, but now there's a giant cement block and a screen. It looks gross. So I went to go investigate, and then wake up in my bed with a young man, red little guy.
The tiefling, yes.
Yes, that one. And he said the job was done. And I was so confused. And the world has... God, it's been 5 years.
Is there somewhere private that we all may discuss the events following your petrification, away from prying ears?
Don't think people want to leave me alone. She smiles.
I do understand.
I think this is probably as part as we're gonna get. And she kind of like looks, doesn't turn her head, but just kind of like looks behind to her left, and you, where like Henry would be if you look at him.
Still there, like the
They're just talking. The only one who's left would be the halfling to have his third meal of the day.
Maybe a different room. I'm just gonna say that kind of.
As
Would we,
when you say that out loud, you see Henry kind of like
go outside?
moves his.
Well, he looks like he wants to keep watch on you. I understand that. He can come.
As you see, he starts like moving toward where you guys are. He was about 20 feet away. Now he's moving closer.
I believe we may trust Henry.
But at least on a different room, not around these people.
Yes, exactly.
As Henry comes into the butt end of that conversation.
You know,
Private
I'm just
room.
gonna say, if I was cooped up in stone for like 5 years, first thing I'd want to do is like go outside and get some fresh air.
Well, the gardens could work. If there's no one out there.
You see that her face gets so wide, and we can go to the garden. Yes, please. I have been inside all day.
Gardens it is.
And
If you don't object.
Henry kind of like nods his head and just like points so you guys can leave. As you guys,
Look, he's a smart boy.
will
See, I am smart, thank you.
walk
You have your
outside.
moments.
This full volume.
As you guys go outside towards the garden, and the chatter, and every single time you pass anyone, people stop what they're doing to just thank the queen. As
There.
just
You have the brain cell now.
Coleton is putting the brain cell on you.
West.
Yay!
Stay there.
Oh, lovely. As you guys are currently outside, and it takes way longer than you anticipate, just because everyone needs to stop to thank the queen and see how she's doing. But finally, you guys do manage to be outside in the gardens. As you see that she almost childish, but like with still being proper, kicks off her shoes and immediately puts her feet in the water. As like when she puts her boots down, it's like very nice and like tucked in where she'd be, but she's talking to you guys with her feet in the water, splashing a little bit as a lily pad kind of rolls by, and she lets a little frog on her, and then the frog jumps back into the pad. You see Henry will be about 20 to 30 feet away.
That's fine. I mean, I can't trust him enough. I'm gonna look at Oria, and then look over to the queen. Your Majesty, if you don't mind, I would have Oria cast Detect Magic and myself Detect Evil and Good, just to ensure that there is no other listening devices in proximity, such as there was in the war room or in your bedroom.
I don't even know what half that means, so yeah, that's fine.
Do you need to purify food and drink? I can do that.
I look at Oria and just kind of nod my head, and then
She
I'll
looks at you,
cast
"Is my
Detect
food
Evil and
poison?"
Good.
As
Magic.
you cast Detect Magic and Detect Evil and Good, other than the same presence that you guys keep seeing when you cast these spells, nothing in the vicinity triggers.
It's a me.
That's why I said the same ones. West triggers a little bit with evil, but it kind of gets muddled in with his good. And Oria, other than the magical items you guys have, and the casters here in the room, everything's fine. You see Orcdeath's axe. You see the glaive. You see his axe. The maul. You see each individual magical item that you guys have. The stones. The bags of holding, etc.
Imagine Rognarv just lights up like a goddamn Christmas tree.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do.
Yes.
I just kind of look at Oria, just like kind of not asking, but asking with my eyes, I guess. Like, is it safe? Like,
It's fine. Everything's fine.
I talked to the queen. It appears that the area is safe.
That's good.
So, you've heard of the threat of Lamashtu, but to what extent?
I was told that there was a council of witches and hags that were trying to do some ritual, and the sun was blocked for hours, and you guys came and defeated the evil, and she is a 3-headed dog. Something like that.
Lamashtu is known as the goddess of nightmares.
Oh, that's lovely.
Her image is a 3-eyed jackal.
Okay.
We have encountered such images.
3-eyed jackal.
Yeah. Did I say that?
She doesn't know the facts, and she said 3-headed dog, but and you
Yeah,
said 3-headed, but 3-eyed jackal. Yes.
3-eyed jackal. We encountered reliefs of this jackal in various taverns and areas, including one etched into the stone behind the bookshelf in your chambers.
Great.
I took care of that,
Thank you.
as well as the others that we've encountered. And if I were to go through this, like, in-game, this is gonna take forever, so I'm just going to kind of relay to her all of the important points of what happened in Korvosa, the hags, finding her petrified, pretty much saving her and the city. I'm going to kind of, put emphasis onto Chattington's help
Okay.
in everything and how helpful he's been, and kind of emphasis on how much we helped. And then, just say it, and then I'll wrap it up. So, okay.
Don't forget. I was gonna be like, don't forget the island with the aboleth and
Yes.
stuff like that. And,
We say that too.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
there was a lot
Where
of.
people were going missing and
Yes. We took care of that as well.
took care of that issue.
And
So while Ariell and Oria give a 3-hour lecture, Wes is just taking his boots off and sticking his feet in the water.
It's really cold and refreshing. Every now and then you get a little tiny nibble of a fish, and then it just goes away.
Rognarv, look at this.
Like you're fishing with your feet.
Yes.
As
I take off my shoe. Do
cleaning
the same
your
thing.
feet, Wes.
I'm giving her a lot
God,
of
there's so
information.
much cleaning.
Huh?
I'm giving her a lot of information in such a
Yeah.
short amount of time.
Yeah, she.
Well,
It looks like
it's
she's
sensory
taking it in.
I am not going to say anything about the book or meteorite. I'm going to kind of conveniently leave those points out.
Okay. She
And
looks
then
at-
just
at,
tell her the last thing is, and we came back from our time in Fangwood and defeating the Drakas the Black to find you in your chambers petrified. The guard had moved you, sealed the tunnel. We had not the components to cast the ritual to remove the petrification, but we had hoped to cast that either today or tomorrow. However, as luck would have it.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm very. That sounds insensitive. A lot of responsibility has lifted off of my shoulders. I may be able to enjoy life a little bit more relaxed in my position. And I think that you guys are doing a really good job at helping those that didn't know they needed help. And the council sounds like they know what they're doing. So I'm just going to, as that tiefling said, chill with the fishes. So I'm putting my feet in the water. I don't know what that really means.
As Rognarv and West is literally
Yeah.
have the
Yeah, as
the
she's-
fish.
So we literally have our feet in the water. You should
Uh,
try it. It's fun. It's refreshing.
yeah. Well, her feet are also in the water.
I'm also
Yeah.
going to ask her, does the general public know of your return, or
We kept that a secret, and I don't want to build mass hysteria, so we're going to announce it soon. To be honest,
Very good.
I think it's gonna be the castle knows. Everybody here has seen me. She kind of looks, and there's a lot of eyes on her. Yeah, exactly.
Word does travel fast.
I don't really know what this. I know that the High Mage, she's really interested in this demon and devil, and then I don't know what that really means.
The what?
The demon and that devil. With Lamashtu and Asmodeus, I don't know what they mean. As apparently a lot of eyes were targeted to the city, and I think that had to do with the hag's influence here, and if nobody found anything with the meteor, then I don't... I had a lot of responsibility taking care of people, and I didn't do a good job. So hopefully with these people, I will do a better job, or at least be in a position that I can help accurately.
From what I understand, you led your people admirably and well, and there is nothing you could have done against petrification.
Yeah, that was a shock.
Now, I do believe announcing your return as soon as possible before word spreads and people start figuring out on their own would be very beneficial to the overall happiness of Korvosa and productivity, knowing that their queen has returned, and it would give them a sense of peace and normality that they have not had in quite some time.
It's a lot of way to wake up to and have this on you.
Of course. Well,
I think I'm going to have cheesecake tonight.
Yes.
It's a very...
I agree. Can I have some?
Sure. You're welcome to come by.
It's a very
Good
decision.
Wes gets cheesecake.
I want cheesecake.
As she kind of
Yeah,
stands
man,
up a
look
little
at
bit,
cheesecake.
with her feet soaking wet, and puts on her boots, still kind of soaking wet a little bit.
Wes is putting his boots back on.
I think we should go back to the meeting.
Of course. And I will get up and follow her back to the meeting.
I will remove my feet off the water, mage hand the water out, put my boots on.
Okay. As
as we're going in though, I'm gonna be like, hey Wes.
Wes is walking in barefoot, sorry. He's
Wes.
gonna carry his boots.
Wes.
Yes.
Could you hand me your coat for a second?
Why?
Do you not trust me?
I mean, fine.
I take
I'll
his
hand him my
coat.
coat.
Clean.
as he casts an enchantment on it, and the coat is perfectly clean, not
Is your
stitched,
spell-
not fixed, but clean.
Is your spell component soap?
Might be. As Wes, you have a perfectly clean coat.
Oh god, it smells weird now. What did you do to it?
Nothing that shouldn't have been done.
As you guys walk in, for the next 2 hours or so, just mundane and boring task of trade, responsibility, treasury department, agricultural, and just diplomatic relations with other nations.
We're back to the meeting.
Yeah, 2 hours or so will pass by. Of just a lot of conversation that at the end of the day, roll me an intelligence check, everybody.
I am very interested in listening.
Everyone?
That's how I'm going to understand everything, but I'm very
General
interested in
Just general, yeah.
That's one of my best stats,
That's
actually.
17.
18.
19.
All right, yeah, all of you are passing so far.
Yeah, 18.
Okay,
Oh,
Wes.
what a bitch.
Oh,
Wes, you come up with the same conclusion, but not because you were paying attention, more because you have no idea what's happening.
I have no fucking idea. I'm literally just laying next to Chad and like the other idea what's going on right now.
I was gonna say, during that 2 hours, Oreo probably would have zoned out, wild shaping, like if she sees that even the queen's having a hard time, like, you know, focusing with this, she'll wild shape into a cat and just there.
All right.
cat on the
So-
table. Just
Okay, you're
Something to
reaching.
basically keep her.
oh, I let her pet
Yeah.
the cat. Oh,
Just don't be. What is it? Word.
The therapy
Animal
cat.
helps. Therapy cat. She's a therapy
oh,
cat.
we're the therapy cat.
She's
As
a therapy cat for the day.
for those next 2 hours, you hear a lot of conversations start begging the question. A lot of conversations going in circles. It feels to all of you that nothing really got done other than everybody agreed and re-agreed and made sure that every single asset of their responsibilities has been undisturbed. As the queen is just taking a seat more as formality than actual ruleship. And
Orcdeath's carving his initial on the wall. He's so bored.
Oh
Oh yeah, seeing what West did.
West and Chaddington are playing paper football
okay,
like the whole
Like,
time.
with what West did a while ago before the break, you see Rognarv mixing his wine as well.
okay.
Yes,
tasting it.
Rognarv.
And with
I'm sitting there sipping on a
Tastes like
glass of
shit
white
when
wine.
you drunk faster.
I can feel it better, but yes, it tastes like piss.
a 8-hour meeting
Wow.
takes an adjourn and ends for the council to discuss upon another meeting on when the proper celebration and announcement for the queen to essentially walk the city again.
Tomorrow morning. That's what it should
Yeah.
be.
Like they're talking about.
They're talking about what they're as making like a
I'm
big
pretty
thing.
strong. I can
Like to
protect her.
everybody.
No, this meeting ended with saying we need to have another meeting to discuss when the proper
Oh.
date should be to celebrate.
Was that said? Or like,
At the end of it, yeah.
She's going where she wants.
I
would
think
like to
it needs to be as soon as possible.
I want to speak up as well.
I
and
think
say,
she's queen, therefore she can do whatever she wants and she can just leave.
I think that I do think that there's little time to hold another meeting. I apologize if this is not my place to say. However, with every
You want me to say it?
with every minute, no West, that's fine, thank you. With every minute that passes, the chances of word spreading through town like wildfire increases, and if the rest of the town comes to find out that the queen is back before the queen or their government even informs them, that they're going to lose faith, trust, and respect for said
The
government.
sooner the better.
And as the I think you misunderstand. Not that they won't know. It's just when we'll have a actual proper party.
Oh, so when will the announcement be made, if I may ask?
Tomorrow morning, tonight. Depending on
I
how
want to do it tonight, bro.
how well Henry can announce the. And as you see, he sends up immediately.
Do it tomorrow morning
You literally do it like right now. Like I
when
can just walk
everybody
in the
is
window
not
and yell.
drinking after
Like-
work. If there's drunk people around the city with this kind
Well-
of announcement, it's gonna be chaos.
And if there's anything that we can do to assist,
Drunk people aren't that
we
bad.
would be more than happy to.
We're going to be going. We have proper, as he looks at proper procedures to make sure that all this is done. Simple word of mouth will help as well. As our heroes, your
Hey, we
voice
got a person
matters.
for that. We can just send her all around town.
As we're going to be making proper announcements at the locations to be spread down and trickle into the different factions, guilds, and taverns, schools, etc.
Very well.
So,
Too bad I couldn't invite the queen to mass.
oh yeah,
What a shame.
What
Darn, I'll
a
just have
shame.
to. I'll just have to sit through another sermon next time we
your
come.
royal queen
Ragnar, are you bored?
ness, you didn't miss much.
Hey, mix the wine. They taste like piss, but they stronger.
Yeah, it's fine shit.
Are
as
you bored, lad?
I'm
Especially when you
bored.
mix
That's
them
why I'm
together.
drinking.
Let's go to a bar and get into a fight.
I'm gonna like pull out my.
Fight.
I want
Yes.
to pull out my flask so bad.
Yes,
No, I do.
let's-
I pull
Yes.
out my flask and I say,
West, are you bored, lad?
I'm so bored.
Let's go to a bar and find a fight.
Orcdeath.
That was the most beautiful words you've ever spoken to me.
If you ever want to try a real drink, let me know.
Laddie,
Laugh
you
back.
have one of my drinks. That's the real drink.
I
No, you
laugh
don't want
like
to
that.
try.
Oh, really?
No,
Kind
it's a trap. You won't want to try his drink. Trust me.
So,
Let's go to a bar and argue over this.
as you guys manage to go to a tavern,
Yes, I'll excuse myself from the queen, and as I do, I want to say to the queen, and I hope soon, after the announcement and the celebration is held, to discuss more about the events in the past.
yeah, my door is always open. There's many other doors in front of that door, but mine will be open.
Of course, thank you, and I'm glad you are back.
Thank you guys, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be back.
I take my leave.
As you see, as like she has like, there's 2 cheesecakes in the back. She already has like her second plate.
Wait,
It's really good.
Yes. Food.
As you guys head over to the Sea Devils for a proper brawl,
proper.
with many blows and hits, getting back up and punching yet again, making sure your friend wasn't hit too hard as they punch you right back just as hard. People start betting over if the dwarf or the human would win. I am going to say, if you do want to do a competition, roll me initiative.
West
Run,
and
yeah. Oh, wait. Damn it, I dropped it. That's...
Rognarv is a builder, not a fighter.
I keep rolling 11s today.
11, alright. What do we get?
8.
Alright, Wes, what do we do? You're first up. If you want, you can tilt the
Fisty
camera
cups, right?
towards.
So I take a swing at him.
Alright, roll me to hit.
Yay. Here's my strength. 17 to hit.
Believe that hits.
17 is
All right.
less.
So, for the sake of this match, we're just going to do the first of 10 blows. So, because y'all's HP, this is gonna take hours.
It would
To-
literally take hours.
so,
When we need an Orcdeath and West, like, battle royale, because that'll take, like, 5 days.
yeah. So we're going to go to the first of 10. Here we have Orcdeath, and here we have Wes. As
Like whoever.
yeah,
is-
whoever, just the first 10
First
blows
10.
will not knock out, but win this fight. Whatever that means. So, Wes, what do you do?
I rolled to hit, so I went in for kind of like a low right hook on him because I have like 3 feet on him.
All right, as a low hook gets right in the jaw. Orcdeath, what do we do?
I grab my axe. in
Okay.
my
Oh
right hand.
dear God!
I grab it with my left. I swing it the blunt end
Okay.
towards west, follow with a fist.
All right, roll me a hit.
Natural 20 and 12.
12 total?
Huh?
Was it 12 total? Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
No, 12 and then plus what? Initiative?
You're to attack. So your strength plus
Strength would be plus 3, so it's 15.
15.
15 misses.
Okay,
No, but 20.
20.
Yeah.
What did you
20
confirm?
definitely
with?
hits me.
So
No,
I
you
hit
hit
him
the
with
soft
the
spot.
axe.
All right, so you get hit with the axe and then a jaw as we're going to, since it was a crit,
That's
not
what-
that as
so
2.
two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Wes, that was a hard hit and a dirty trick with that axe. What do you do?
Oh, motherfucker! Okay.
Come on, lads, have some fun.
What?
Be smiling while you're having fun, lad.
Oh, I'm fucking smiling, alright. I'm gonna go in with like a kind of like a blind haymaker.
Okay.
13.
Unfortunately, that's a miss.
Okay, you take that swing. I grab Ariel and I throw him towards you. See if
Is Ariel there?
see if he gets hit.
Sure.
See if he gets hit on that swing.
Is
What
Ariel
was the attack? What was the total?
It was 13. I think that does not meet Ariel's.
Ariel, as Orthe grabs you and throws you, and you just kind of slide underneath as the fist just goes about 2 feet in front of you, and then you just pick yourself back up.
More the merrier.
Alright, you want someone to
Yes, you are instantly clean. Are you joining the
Walk
initiative?
over to the bar. No, I'm gonna
Okay.
walk over to the bar. Shot glass. pour my water, my flask into it. I think you deserve a shot for that one.
Okay. Knock it down.
All right.
As this juice that you drink literally burns inside your skin, as it feels the
34
same
necrotic damage.
I told you you didn't want it!
as you feel that your intestines are belting. As technically that's how much damage?
34.
34 necrotic damage. You can mark that. I'll say that because of how we're doing this, I'm gonna mark one blow off. As you take that shot, just immediately feel the blood in your mouth.
Yeah.
Just one?
I'm gonna just kind of laugh. I'm gonna go back and sit down at the bar.
So I'm just feeling
Alright.
the burn.
Okay.
Actually, no. I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna look at him, and I'm just gonna take the flask and just chug a bunch of it and then put it back.
While he's chugging, I'm swinging twice
All right. Towards Ariell or towards West?
towards Ariel.
All right. All right.
All right.
Bringing out another D10.
Oh boy. 12 and 8.
Unfortunately, they both miss.
So I'm drinking.
Or is
As-
just sitting at the bar watching this and just...
All right.
Yes,
Ariel,
we
Because
we're.
Ariel...
Wes, what do you want to do?
Well, because Ariel's now in this, West is like
Oh.
super like golden retriever excited, and he's gonna throw himself at Ariel with a clothesline.
You're gonna close. All right, roll me to hit.
This is amazing.
You're in this, buddy. I missed.
You miss. What did you roll?
I'm literally probably hitting the bar.
As he tries to close down you, and you just oh god, and you hear just the tower of his mask as he moves the bar.
While Wes is swinging at you, I'm swinging at Wes.
Yeah. So it's just everybody matching. So technically, Ariel.
One's like,
Ariel's move.
Yeah, Ariel, your move. Then so it's Orcdeath West Ariel. So Ariel, your move. Then we're gonna continue the circle. Ariel, what do you do?
I'm going to Zephyr Strike. Right behind Orcdeath,
Okay.
and I'm actually just going to lay on hands for 20
Okay.
HP.
You get.
And then I'm gonna go walk to the bar and sit down next to Oria.
All right. As you see just a flash of lightning, and you barely see the trails of light, and you feel the energy of Ariel healing you, and straight back, and you see Ariel. By the time it took you to blink, you were healed, and he's sitting next to Oria. And all right, so we're putting you back at 9, and Wes is still at 8. All right, top of the round, Orcdeath.
I'm going at Wes who's swinging at Ariel.
Ariel's fucking cheating.
22 and 13.
Does 13 hit?
Single hit.
Okay, so you get 1 hit. How do you do it?
Just both hands.
As both hands come, hit you right in the chin. Oh god, that's a good hit. All right, Wes, what do we do?
I am going to bull rush or death and try
Okay.
to do a table.
All right, roll me to hit.
That sucks. I'm rolling like shit tonight. That's a 6.
As he bull rushes you, but you manage to
I
Greco
back
grab him.
up,
Okay.
Stick my leg out and have him trip over my leg.
All right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's Orcdeath, your turn.
He's first to do a table.
And then as he's passing by, then I'm going double hand behind the head.
Okay.
Whoosh. So,
As a swing and a miss. Wes, what do we do?
I literally hit the table. I get up. There's like blood coming down my nose. I'm gonna try to rush short.
Okay.
Or death again with another. Hey, that's better. 17.
17, I believe, hits. All right, 17 hits.
I'm bull rushing him into the bar.
As you get bull rush right into the bar, and as your lady friend kind of throws some water on you.
and then
I paid 3 gold for you.
and
You
then
better win.
I hit the back, I grab somebody's ale, I take a drink,
All right.
and hit him with the mug.
All right, roll me to hit.
Well, apparently I can't hit.
As he swings at you with the mug and this is Wes. Are you rolling 1 attack or 2 attacks?
I'm only rolling 1 attack. I should probably be rolling for 2.
You have 2 hits. That's Orcdeath's not going easy
I'm
on
not
you.
throwing punches except this last time.
Okay.
Okay, so this last time, I'm going to wrestle the mug out of his hand and I'm going to hit him with it.
Fair. All right, roll.
Alright, I mean, I'm rolling shit either way, so 8 and 13.
As you're learning really quickly, it's hard to take away a dwarf's mug.
And mind by Ariel, as this happens.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so as you're swinging at me, I'll pull his face right between me and you. I grab him by the shirt.
As you keep getting dragged into it, that's your face gets pulled in. But unfortunately, it does not make contact with you. But your face gets pulled in. Orcdeath, what do we do?
Is it me?
Yep.
Kick Wes in the nuts.
All right.
And punch him at the same time.
Okay.
Go 19 and 10, so the nuts hit.
All right, nuts hit, but
Oh no.
as Wes, you get hit hard of the nuts as the air leaves you. A fist comes and you catch it just out of instinct, but you. Ariell, it's technically your turn if you want to get pulled in. You do have Zephyr Strike.
Her little legs, they kick really hard!
I just see. I'm about to say like something to Orcdeath. And I'm like, don't. And then I see that happen to Wes. And I'm like,
He feels the pain.
that's it.
All right, Wes, what do we do?
No, sorry. I look at Wes. I do that, and I look back at Orcdeath, and I'm just like, that was low.
When you're in the dwarf line, there's nothing less.
This one's very
Always
low.
low. Always low.
I'm gonna try to grab Orcdeath by the head and I'm gonna headbutt him.
All right, roll me to hit.
Hey, okay, one is 6, the other one is 22.
22 as a hard headbutt.
Heavy hits hit my head hits the bar, comes right back up.
Okay.
And I'm coming at him with a
We're at
headbutt.
6 and 6, by the way. All right, Orcdeath, what do we do?
Headbutt back at him. Shoot him, I missed his head. I hit him in the chest.
All right, a soft hit on the chest.
I guess he's still holding me during this. So I'm just going I'm just gonna swing around watching him, just like wrapping his arms.
Did you only do in 1 attack?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Wes, what do we do?
I'm gonna grapple Orcdeath and I'm gonna try to throw
If you
him
grapple
across
me,
the
you're
bar.
grappling Ariel too. You're grabbing,
no!
grabbing both of us at the same time.
I'm gonna throw him! I'm gonna throw both of them! I don't give a shit!
Roll me 2 attacks. Let's see what happens.
Case in point again. Oria just.
One is a 5, the other one is 20.
20
It's
total.
a 20.
Who are you grabbing first? Orcdeath or?
I'm going for Orcdeath,
All
actually.
right.
So,
So
first.
as you do grab him, and as he's grabbing Ariell, you do manage to rip Orcdeath's grab from Ariell, but you don't manage to throw him. As this whole odd entanglement is happening, he could have just Orcdeath from about 3 feet off the ground, just right on the floor. We're at 5 and 6. Orcdeath, your turn. What do you do?
Okay, we're on the floor now.
Yeah.
So I'm grabbing Ariel by the shoulder, pulling him back, and I'm coming at Wes with 2 fists.
He's like,
14 and 10.
Which one
So
was
Ariel knocks me out of the way.
14 and 10. I don't think the.
No, miss.
Okay.
So Ariel, while he's fighting, hits me, knocks me off balance, so I go rolling across the floor.
All right.
Laughing like a fool.
West.
I'm gonna get him with the chair.
All right. Go. Roll me to hit.
Damn it. My highest I rolled was a 14.
As you grab the chair, but unfortunately make no contact as he moves out and just shatters on the floor. And you do hear the bar. You're paying for that.
I can fix it.
More than please.
I'm gonna go over there and go.
Bending, we can fix it.
Ariel, do you want to do anything?
Oria does spending!
I stand up and I walk. I start quick walking, like running almost to the outside of the ring. I'm just like, ah! And then I like Zephyr Strike and disappear, and you just see me like reappear, and I'm outside of the tavern, but I'm looking through the window watching.
As you see the lightning bolts of the Zephyr Strike.
I just have like both hands on the windowsill, my eyes just right over the edge, like I'm just staring in, like, yes, just like that.
Roy over here.
Alright, Orcdeath, what do we do?
I'm gonna bull rush Wes and lead him right into that window where he's looking through.
Alright, let's do it. Roll me to hit.
15.
Does 15 hit? Wes, does 15 hit?
No, 15 does not hit. 16
As-
is my AC.
As you try, but he just manages to grab your shoulder and kind of just nudge you out as you guys, you move him about 5 feet back, but not enough to damage or anything. Wes, what do you do?
I'm gonna pick Orcdeath up and I'm gonna go for like kind of like a discus swing and throw him through the window.
Holy shit, okay. Roll me 2 attacks.
Damn it. Then highest rolls 14.
Oh my god.
As he's trying so much to pick you up, but you're just center of gravity rubbing down.
Exhausted, just
Yeah.
can't do nothing right.
Oh, yeah, it is currently 5 to 6, so Orcdeath, it is your
Oh my
turn.
gosh.
Orc just raise up one finger. How about a drink, lad?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, let's have a drink.
And you see people like, who won? And you start arguing, and then more brawls start appearing amongst them, arguing over the I won,
We
they
go to the
won.
bar and start drinking.
And you see
He's oblivious as everything's happening.
the barmaid looks at you guys both with the like pissed look. That was the best bar fight I've seen all month. The motherfuckers need to pay what they owe. And as the brawls continue and the drinks ensue, I think this is a great time to call it an end for today's game.
I agree.
With many more discussions need to be had as what to do next. The Elysee Vagabonds enjoying the peace that they brought this nation. See you guys next time then.
We had to end it on an exciting note because it was getting too boring for me.
That was pretty good.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Adios.
Goodbye.
See the comments keep going up.